Oh, right. I hit start. I'm good at this. Can you tell? So we'll see how long I get to last laughing at Lucas tonight. Just came in with the dog. He should not have to go out to go potty anytime soon, but who the hell knows? He's a puppy. He was playing nicely by himself until I started talking, and now he's staring intently at me. So we'll see how well. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? You cannot climb the cat tree. You are too big for that. Cats are not in here; they shouldn't be bothering him. But I started talking, which means he has to have my attention because clearly I should be talking to him. Um, so after a bit of exercise, I'm fucking tired. The dog absolutely is not. So I'm gonna laugh at Lucas crying. Hi, buddy. Holy shit, you're heavy. Hi. Could you hello? Do you want to bite the mic? Yeah, there you go, bite. Yeah, go ahead and bite the cheap mic. Give me an excuse to buy a better one. Are you done? Okay, good. That's probably going to just be a thing that happens. He's a big baby. But Lucas had yeah, I know he's adorable. He's not even remotely tired. We probably ran around with I use a there's smaller versions called like tail teasers or flirt poles. Basically, it's a giant version of a cat toy string or cat string toy. Um, but I actually went out and got a lunge whip that they use for horses because it's got like a 72-inch radius. I mean, it's 72 inches long and it's got a huge radius, which means I can run him in like bigger patterns and more wild patterns and tire him out. But we did that for an hour when I got home, and then we went on not really a jog because it's icy, but like an hour long speed walk. So I'm fucking wiped, and he's a working line dog, so he is calmer, but I wouldn't say tired. He's probably not going to nap. He is watching me very intently, and occasionally I may have to just try to talk and play tug with him. You know, his energy is probably going to be like this until he's about ready to die. That's what he's bred for. It's gotten me to get off my ass and lose a bunch of weight, so it's definitely not bad for me. I'd say we should get maybe Lucas a dog, except he wouldn't know how to take care of one. My dog is definitely smarter than Lucas. Um, and I get the feeling that dogs just like instinctively wouldn't like Lucas anyway because he's fucking Lucas. Um, so he's got like a bunch of shitty memes he put up and whatnot. But my favorite thing and the thing that I'm probably going to laugh at the most tonight, as the title might have indicated, was he. I'm not going to bother with the sound. I mean, you can see it on either my YouTube channel, or if you want to go to his Instagram, you can watch it there too. He still has comments on, but he deletes the negative ones. But he posted this short video of him with one tear rolling down his cheek, doing a little sort of thing. But any type of manipulative mood he was trying to make is completely destroyed by the fact that you could hear his roommates snoring in the background. I mean, it's like loud snoring too. So I'm pretty sure Lucas doesn't sleep very well because this dude was fucking loud. Like even on his shitty phone mic, he was loud. Malin Place should maybe consider getting the other dude a CPAP because he probably has sleep apnea. But then again, I'm gonna guess Lucas probably snores too. Oh, you are gonna be good and calm down. Thank you. If you nap, that would be even greater. But you got deer legs and all kinds of shit you can chew on if you don't want to gnaw on my fingers. That's cool. Um, I totally lost my place. I'm professional. It's totally why I'm. Even if I wasn't monetized, who the hell would want to run ads on this kind of shit anyway? So yeah, the single tier thing. We can go through some of his memes and whatnot, but I'm just gonna like put this up on a damn loop, um, because it's funny. Look at that one single tear. Oh, I love videos of him crying when he does a close up. They're just great. But hey, I was going to comment that his pupils. I don't know. I don't remember if I left my mouse cursor on, but if I can, you can see me frantically moving it. Look at him fluttering his little eyelashes. But I was initially going to comment that his pupils seemed like they were smaller, like they should be in bright light, but no, they're still pretty fucking big. Um, but yeah, dealing with some people on YouTube, they're not entirely wrong, but they're not entirely right. Um, I don't think he's linked the YouTube video he's talking about publicly, and I don't know how many people he sent it to in DMs, so I really don't want to post it just in case he's only sent it to me. The stupid little fluttery eyelashes. That's great. I probably don't even have this set up to make sound happen, and it doesn't really matter to me if it does. I suppose if I could unmute the desktop audio. I don't know. Can you hear the dude snoring? Like, can you actually hear the dude snoring? Did I not like fuck up turning on the sound? You know, it's the greatest. When I first watched this video this morning, I should probably mute the snoring while I'm talking. When I first watched this morning, my dog was actually sleeping over on the couch. He was taking a nap. And I thought the dog was snoring because of the way my speakers were. The way my speakers were pointed. But yeah, this exasperated face here, I would like totally understand, because if I had to like live with somebody, and actually the person I was married to snored worse than that. But I made that same kind of like exasperated, eyes shut, blinking face a lot when I was trying to, fucking sleep. But I get the feeling that Lucas doesn't sleep well unless Lucas snores loud enough to cancel out that dude's snoring, because damn. It's gonna just unmute that, and we can listen to the roommate snore while Lucas silently cries. I could watch this on a loop forever. I'm laughing enough that the dog got up to come over and see what was happening. See, now if he hadn't mentioned like this YouTube video in the comment here, I would have just assumed he was like frustrated crying because he can't sleep because the fucker in the room with him is snoring so loud. I wonder if this is the same roommate that Lucas said shared his political views and shit. I could probably let this loop forever, but I should really mute it so it's not just like an hour of Lucas's roommate snoring while Lucas cries. All right, I'm gonna stop that. Okay, but yeah, this I love this. I didn't even realize he was crying at first until I viewed it like bigger, not just on the my little phone screen. But that single fucking forced tear was just amazing. That's the sort of thing that gives me life. And they're telling him it gets better, not for Lucas, it doesn't. Oh, thank God he's not playing with the empty plastic jug. There's an empty plastic jug that the puppy has decided is one of his favorite toys, and when he starts running that around the house, it can get a little loud. Okay, it's enough of Lucas crying for now. So he made a bunch of memes with like this same face, so we'll just kind of go back and we'll start with that one. They're not denying you because you're an atheist, but I like this one where he does the jutting of his jaw out, like thinking it makes him look like a tough guy. Like, no, you don't. You look like a little bitch. See, that's the thing. He might, but I get the feeling that his feet probably aren't healing. Like I've known people who get diabetic sores on their feet, and no matter how well they take care of them, no matter how well they start, what are you eating? Weird dog. No matter like how well they take care of their feet after the fact, no matter how well they try to get their diabetes under control after the fact is that the circulation in their feet is so absolutely fucked, and their health is so bad by the point that they're actually getting diabetic sores that they never fully heal. So there's a really good chance that part of the reason he's not walking around is because doctor's orders, but part of it is probably because he can't. It gets hard to walk with that when you can't feel your feet, or when you can feel your feet, basically all you can feel is pain. He might be coming to the realization, based some So, sometimes on what he's posting and sometimes what he said in DMs. You don't need to go out. You were just out. He's ringing the bell thinking I'm going to go let him out. And I know he was just out, so we don't need to do that yet. But he might be coming to the slow realization because he can't leave, because he's stuck where he is now, that this is it. That this is where he's going to live out the rest of his life and die, because he would not survive on the street. And he's never really been really suicidal. Every time he's mentioned suicide, or hey, don't bite my hands, please. Hi. Or mention being suicidal or going to the hospital for it, it's a quote-unquote threat. He never intends to follow through with it. He does it to try to manipulate people into sleeping with him, trying to get attention. And it's not super uncommon among homeless people in areas where the weather gets like really lethally cold to at least get themselves a 72-hour psych hold by going to the ER and telling people they're suicidal. But Lucas kind of hopes for, longer term than 72 hours. He wants to just be there. And he's admitted that he sometimes will purposely get himself into the psych ward because he can hit on women there and they can't get away from him. So being in Malin Place, where it appears to be an all-male resident population, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Oh, yeah, I don't know if I'd call it on time or late. There's no structure to this because it's me. There's more of him. So is his implication here that like ugly Christian chicks would go for him, but he's too good for like an ugly chick? Ooh, there's a comment. I can prove it, Lucas. Jesus loves you because he hasn't let you assault a child yet. I don't know what he thinks this has relevance to dating, but yeah, whatever. The racist is quoting Martin Luther King. No shocker there, more Bible verses. This was one that was probably done roughly around the same time he was having his little crying jag. Stop letting money win over your dark little hearts. Yeah. This one, he edited his face a little bit, but I can't tell if like this up right here where his hair and forehead turn off, if that's just the sun or if that's a bad edit, but either way, he looks bad. So this is, if you're not familiar with Lucas, and most of you in the chat probably are, he brings this up all the time, that the only thing keeping him from finding a woman is having money or going to the bar, that he hasn't tried it. But the thing is, he's had money. He's been able to go to the bars. He used to use, I don't have an ID as an excuse. Then he got an ID, and then it was COVID, and then it was I don't have money, and then it was blah, blah, blah. Just any excuse he can think of to not go, because he knows if he goes, well, first of all, he's banned from most of the bars in Spokane. But the other thing he knows is that if he goes there, he's going to either, at best, just be ignored, or at worst, he's going to get made fun of or actively rejected, and he can't cope with that idea. So he makes up these excuses. So I could guarantee that, first of all, he can't go out because he's not supposed to walk on his feet, and then COVID. So if you were to give him money, just for example, if someone say, hey, here's $100, go out to Bistango and buy Honey a drink, he would take your $100. He would not go to Bistango. He would not go to any other bar. He would say, well, it's stupid to go to a bar with COVID. Nobody's wearing masks. I don't want to get COVID. These chicks are all stupid because they're at bars and not wearing masks. Or he would say he lost his ID, or $100 isn't enough, or he can't go because his feet, or it's cold, or he's going to miss curfew. His state nanny told him it was bedtime. He would literally make up any excuse to not go and then blame the women. So, yeah. The puppy is sitting by the door, ringing the bell, thinking that I don't remember that we were out like literally 2 minutes before I started this live. And I know he doesn't have to pee. I know he did drink a bunch of water a few minutes ago, but that should still give me a good 10-15 minutes before he has to go out. He just wants to go outside. I don't know why he doesn't really do anything. He just kind of sits in the snow and watches the fence. But yeah, he doesn't need to go outside. If he starts frantic bell ringing, I'll go let him out, because the frantic one, he's smarter than Lucas. But he figured out 2 different bell patterns. He's got the quiet, calm rings that are just like normal, somebody like brushing the jingle bells. that's just, I want to go outside. And then he's got like the really frantic one where he'll grab them and shake them, which is his, I need to go outside or I'm going to piss on your floor. He did the quiet ring and now he's just laying by the door out in the kitchen, so he doesn't actually need to go out. If he does, he will ring it further, and if I ignore that, because I don't ignore that when I want him to let me know when he needs to go out. But if he really does need to go out, he'll start the frantic ring and he might like come in and bark at me. But he does let me know when he needs to go out versus when he wants to go out, and right now he wants to go out. Lucas actually probably couldn't figure that out because he's not house trained. We've seen that in past videos. He can't. I mean, okay, to be fair, if my cash and prizes were as short as Lucas's, I probably wouldn't be able to hit a toilet standing up, but I would sit down at that point. I don't know, or get like an extension, or what the hell is that thing called? The shiwi when they use for camping. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, masks around here are kind of weird. It's like people around my age, and I'm roughly Lucas's age, but people around my age tend to not bother. People older than 65 typically will wear a mask, and people that are in their 20s or younger will typically wear a mask. But there's like this demographic here from about like 30 to maybe 50 that like most of them just don't wear a mask unless you tell them they have to. And they certainly don't do it in most stores. I don't think I've been to... When the fuck was the last time I was at a grocery store? I figured out for me it's easier to pay the extra $10 for delivery from like Instacart or something, so I don't have to fucking deal with a grocery store. And that was even like before COVID. I just don't like going to grocery stores. I got to talk to people. I got to interact with strangers. This is bullshit. I interact with strangers all day at work. When I'm not at work, I just want to come home and not interact with other people face to face. But yeah, Lucas was making a big deal for a while of even wearing his mask around Malin Place, but he seems to have mostly stopped doing that. But he'll like wear it when he's lurching around their grounds when there's like nobody around. It's like, hey, if you're outside and nobody's around, you don't need to wear a mask. You don't. Like that would be about as bright as me just going out into my backyard and thinking I had to put a mask on. You don't. That's not how it works. Yeah, around here they actually have to wear masks to get on the bus. The bus driver does have the actual authority to not let you on the bus if you're not wearing a mask. But yeah, anyway, money does not matter here. You could give him all the money you wanted. He would literally never go to a bar. He would make some excuse as to why he couldn't, and right now it would probably be COVID. More racist quoting King. So here's where I get the feeling that his feet are getting worse, because a couple of weeks ago, he said he was really proud of this, that only one foot was in a cast, right? And when he showed a picture, you could kind of see one foot in a cast and the other one wasn't. But feet is plural, which makes me think that, yeah, I don't know about the bus thing. I don't ride the bus. I'm not... my autism is showing, but I really don't like interacting with strangers in person, like face to face, unless there's a reason, and the reason is usually that I'm getting paid because it's my job. But face to face, I would prefer to never talk to another human being that I don't know, or be in the same room with them, or sit on a bus with them, or just be anywhere where they can perceive that I exist. I am not a people person, which you probably wouldn't know by the way I interact with people online. I'm perfectly fine when I don't have to try to read your goddamn body language and facial expressions because I'm bad at it. The autism speaking again. I actually am on the spectrum, diagnosed by professionals, not like me guessing that I'm fucked up. I actually am. Well, he had said at one point that they were healing at different rates, and I think one foot had like bigger or worse wounds than the other, but they were both in pretty rough shape. And he had put the trash out. Yeah, I don't have to do that until like at least 5 a.m. But he made it sound like one of them was healing up and was be able to be out of cast, but he was still supposed to keep it dry. So I don't know if he just like didn't keep it dry, or if it got worse, or what was going on. Wow, did I turn my mic levels way up today? I hope I don't sound like I'm screaming at the mic. The levels are looking higher than I thought I set them, but whatever, I don't care. But yeah, I think he's got both feet back, and so I think he either got the other one wet or it got reinfected because Lord knows he's not exactly hygienic. Um, and I had an aunt that used to, whenever hers started healing, she'd start fucking walking barefoot again and then get reinfected, and yeah, whatever. But he live at a boarding house. It's an assisted living facility, honey. That profits off the mental health of others. I mean, he's not entirely wrong or Malin Place. If you look up like the reviews of it and the ratings of it, yeah, they're licensed, but they're real fucking shady. Most people that have had like family that have been there or that have been stuck staying there and get out usually do not leave the best reviews for that place. So he's not totally far off there. Oh yeah, my parents in the '80s when I got diagnosed, they just kind of decided to go the route of because there wasn't really any therapy that wasn't just objectively horrible for kids with autism in the '80s. Um, so they kind of went the route of just teaching me like, hey, the world is not going to always revolve around you, and you are going to have to figure out ways to cope with reality, and we'll help you figure that out. And with me, the thing I liked to do most as a little kid was basically play pretend or play make believe. So they pretty much taught me to role play as a normal kid. So masking is what they taught me how to do. And they taught me how to deal with like the stress of that and the emotions behind it and how to deal with that decently. But no, Malin Place is not a boarding house. It's an assisted living facility for people with mental health or cognitive issues. They are state licensed in Washington as an assisted living facility. It's not a boarding house. They take almost all of his SSI, which is great. And he doesn't get EBT anymore because he's getting fed. But yeah, my parents worked really, really hard with me on that. And that's still, I guess what I mean, honestly, at work, I role play as a sociable extrovert, and I hate talking to people, but the people I interact with think I'm super friendly, super outgoing, just super great, and then I get back into the other area of work where I don't have to deal with customers. And I'm like, God damn, I hate this. But I don't hate the job. I like the work. I like the practice of practicing appearing normal. But when I'm on my own, I make sure that I'm sufficiently off-putting looking so strangers don't approach me. Having a big typically viewed as aggressive breed dog helps with that, but it also kind of helps with that I've been told I look like I'm having conversations nobody else could hear, or that I look like I'm about ready to like throat punch the first person that gets within arm's range of me, and I'm cool with either one of those because I really don't want strangers approaching me in public. Oh, that force! Yeah, I'm gonna loop that again at some point because that's just funny, and I'll probably turn the sound back on so you can hear his roomy snoring. But yeah, I didn't burn bridges. I actually had parents that tried to understand what was happening. I mean, my dad was in the medical field, and my mom, for the '80s, would have been considered pretty liberal and progressive. She worked from like 1985 until like 2010 or 2012 when she retired at the local AIDS organization, and that in the '80s was something in and of itself. So that was near my elementary school, so I'd just go down there after school so they could babysit me because I was a quiet kid and stayed out of the way. But yeah, and my mom is like super loud and mama bear about basically anyone who tries to punch down. So I had that too. And then my dad is like almost 7 feet tall and has like a long white beard and looks like he could kill you with a look. But he's like super quiet and super gentle. But yeah, no, he was crying over one of his comments said something on YouTube. Someone was making fun of him again. He was just also sort of crying over his lot in life being what it is because he is trapped and he can't get out. Yeah, my parents are great. They're super awesome, and even they would look at someone like Lucas and go, Jesus Christ, he wasn't raised right, because he definitely wasn't. But he's also just a defect. And yeah, my brother is totally normal. My older brother is totally normal. We even look opposite. My brother's tall. He's got blue eyes. He's got wavy hair. He's got big, stupid, thick eyelashes that make me hate him because it looks like he's wearing mascara. And then I'm like short and don't have wavy hair. Can't really tell I have eyelashes. I don't look anything like my brother really unless I shave my head somehow. But yeah. And my brother is actually extroverted and super personable, and he works in the medical field. He's married, he's got kids, he's like the complete opposite of me. But we get along at least. And my brother is also very willing to beat the shit out of anyone who gives me shit, so that's always fun. But yeah, Lucas, and I think Lucas's mom did try, not necessarily the best, but just basing on some of her old Facebook posts and some of the stuff she said about Lucas in that one blog post, when he was younger at least, I think she really did try to do what she thought would be best for him, but the problem is she didn't even really know how to handle him, because it sounds like he had mental and social deficiencies like from the time that he was in school. So she may have, yeah, I got a great opposition reflex. But she may have tried the best she could, but it didn't really work out, because Lucas was one of those kids that probably needed like actual intervention from a specialist. But given that, you know, the time he grew up, that probably was not something that was available to his parents. But yeah, I mean, his mom definitely has some issues, and it does sound like, based on her own words, that she caused a few of his issues because she would shield him from failure. So like when he couldn't make friends in class, or when like other kids made fun of him, or when kids were just shitty, like kids are shitty, she would tell him that it wasn't his fault. He was perfect. He was sweet. He was brilliant. He was intelligent. You know, like things that most mothers would tell their kids, but she never allowed him to fail. She always told him it was somebody else's fault when things didn't work out for him. And she would then try to cheer him up with food. So that probably helped develop the clear eating disorder that he has, where he just feeds his emotions with food and he self-medicates with food. No, I mean, and that's the thing. Yeah, she didn't try to manipulate kids into liking him. You know, she did try to do what they could to, you know, get him to make friends. But, you know, when you got a weird kid, I know how that works, because I had maybe 3 friends through most of elementary and middle school, because other kids kind of know when there's a weird kid around, even if you can mask well. But yeah, she didn't seem to try, based on what she has said, manipulate kids into liking him. But, you know, when he would be upset over that, obviously, like when kids didn't like him, or when he didn't get invites to parties, or, you know, shit like that, she would tell him it wasn't his fault. And to an extent, that's right. You know, to an extent, when you're talking little kids, for the most part, it's generally not your fault if somebody doesn't like you. Personalities clash, people don't get along. It's just a thing. But if you're parenting like a normal, you know, person, you kind of instill in your kid that it's okay if other people don't like you, or you don't like other people. Not everybody is going to like everybody else, but just leave someone alone if you don't like them. Yeah, go out for ice cream and, you know, celebrate not being invited to the little girl's birthday party. Yeah, people don't owe you friendship. You know, you have to an extent, be able to fit in, whatever that means. The crowd I fit in with high school were just a bunch of other rejects. But to an extent, you know, you have to try to fit in, and that means that sometimes you can't be. Nobody's really fully themselves. Like Lucas definitely isn't. We see that in his public versus private. But yeah, his mom shielded him from failure, more or less, and told him that nothing was his fault. It wasn't his fault if he failed. It wasn't his fault if things didn't work out. It wasn't his fault if things didn't go right for him. It was always somebody else. And what you get when you do that to a kid is you get an adult like Lucas, minus the wanting to fuck a child. You get an adult that has a meltdown when they get rejection, or when somebody doesn't like them, or when things don't go their way, or when they don't get what they want, or when they have to, you know, experience delayed gratification and can't get things like right away. And there is a norm, and it's, you know, I don't fit into a lot of the norm. I also don't want to fuck kids, but there's a lot of norm I don't fit into for a lot of things. But I also understand that that's my limitation and not everybody else's limitation, and I just find people who are more similar to me. But yeah, he's not going to find what he's looking for, because what he's looking for is essentially a unicorn. It doesn't exist. There are women out there that are quote unquote fixers. There are men out there that are fixers too, that will look at damaged people, usually not as damaged as Lucas, but they'll look at damaged people who, you know, most people would just say are a giant red flag. You know, like people with norm varies from person to person, but I guess you could go with like what society considers a norm, which is usually bullshit anyway. But yeah, it's you have to be okay, especially if you're going to I don't want to say be yourself because everyone is different, but if you are slightly off from what's considered a social norm, if you're going to express that and you're going to be open about that, you have to be able to deal with the fact that a lot of people aren't going to like you. And yeah, Lucas is looking, well, he's looking for a unicorn, but really what he's looking for is a fixer who's going to settle. I've got another aunt who was a fixer, and she would get hooked up with men who'd been divorced multiple times, men who cheated on previous partners and then be surprised when she got cheated on, men who were like heavy drinkers or who had like criminal records or whatnot. But she was such a good woman, she could fix him. True love would turn him around. He would go away from his evil ways. But that's what he's looking for. Is he's looking for somebody not to like help him grow or help him better himself. He is looking for somebody to take care of him. Yeah, he's basically looking for a mommy he can fuck. But he's hoping to find a fixer. And the thing he doesn't realize about fixers is when there's fixers, they're typically not huge age gaps. When you get people who are fixers, they tend to be fixers for people around their own age, because they think they have more of a chance of fixing them. Occasionally you get the ones that'll go for like a big age gap, but typically if there's going to be a really big age gap, there's a financial aspect involved, whether they admit it or not. But yeah, he's looking for arm candy, which he's not going to get. He has called his mom hot before. That's creepy as shit. I wouldn't be surprised if he would absolutely go for a woman that looked like his mom did when she was younger. But yeah, he doesn't want damaged goods. You see, he doesn't want a girl that's been used or that's been with a ton of guys or that is damaged or has kids by somebody else. He doesn't want damaged goods, but he wants them to accept his damaged goods. And he doesn't have any goods that aren't damaged. I mean, physically, mentally, emotionally, everything. He is just a walking pile of damaged goods. He doesn't, but that's the thing. That's the thing about settling in now at Malin Place, is he doesn't have an escape. So when he was homeless, hi puppy, hi. You want to say hi again? Yeah. Here. Okay. That was good. Thank you. Yeah, I like the fact that he calls the one couple that he used to live with a lesbian couple, despite in the same breath saying that one of the two people in that partnership was a trans man, so they weren't exactly a lesbian couple if one of them was a trans man. Yeah, Lucas is targeting what he thinks is an easy target, but he's not even smart enough to do that. But yeah, he's just a walking pile of damaged goods. But he doesn't want damaged goods. He doesn't want somebody who's physically not fit. He doesn't want somebody who's out of shape. He doesn't want somebody who's overweight. He doesn't want somebody with health problems. He doesn't want somebody with mental illness. He doesn't want somebody with kids. He doesn't want somebody. He knows he's undesirable, and that's why he doesn't want those things in another person. But yeah, Malin, they should be. I mean, he's fucking huge and he's diabetic. He needs to have his weight and diet managed because he can't do it himself. But Lucas is trapped in Malin Place. Like, he's legitimately trapped, and at this point, I think reality is starting to close in around him. Because when he was homeless or when he was shelter hopping, he could at least kind of disassociate himself into his fantasy world. He was a free spirit. He was free. He wasn't tied down anywhere. He could do what he wanted. That was a good thing, and he could move about. He could basically do what he wanted, but he can't now because first of all, he can't move around because feed and cast. He's living in Malin Place, which takes all but like $50 of his SSI, and because he's in a place that feeds him and gives him room and board, he doesn't get EBT anymore, so he doesn't have that extra couple $100 a month to just blow on food. Yeah, that wouldn't be surprising. That wouldn't be surprising if they did, because he's gained a lot of weight since he's gone there. He's clearly diabetic. He's also, I mean, the way he eats, he's definitely got some kind of emotional eating disorder that he probably should be getting help for, but they're not going to give him that. But they should be rationing his food, because the more weight he gains, the worse his diabetes is going to get, and the less chance of his feet are going to be healing. But yeah, he can't gorge on his comfort junk foods anymore. Those were his comfort snacks, basically. That's why he begs for people to like DoorDash him junk food because that's his comfort food. Um, he, yeah, he's trapped. He's basically a trapped animal in a cage. And by the time he pays his phone bill out of the $50 he has left, I think he said he has like $15 left. He's legitimately trapped there. And I don't think he's going to get out. I don't know if he's allowed to just walk. I don't know if he's there because like the state put him there because I know he got in after his last having to go back to intake for being quote unquote suicidal again. So I don't know if he's there because he has to be or because he just knows better than to be homeless in winter. But yeah, he definitely needs somebody to manage his food because he clearly does not know how to. Shocker, he doesn't know how to feed himself. Doesn't know how to feed himself, can't keep himself housed, can't keep himself in clean clothing, can't keep himself clean. He basically can't function without adults telling him what to do. Yeah, no kidding. I'm surprised he hasn't started like eating his own hair or something. Anyway, I'm sick of looking at this picture. I'm going to change it. Whoa, do not like that one because there's human teeth on a dog. Yeah, nobody cares. It's not because you're atheist. You're just disgusting. Lucas can't even disappoint one woman. I mean, come on, Lucas, man. We've all seen your package. You would disappoint a woman, let alone two or three or more. You would. I mean, they'd just look at you and start laughing, or just look at you and be disappointed. Hi. Are you sulking over on the couch? You are. That was a big sigh. Yeah. Oh, big sigh. I know. I'm so boring. I'm not paying any attention to you. I'm talking about the fat hobo. And you're looking at me like you're not a fat hobo. You're awfully cute. And I should be playing with you and not talking about the fat hobo. What name? What? Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm probably still going to always recognize Click. But yeah, you ain't getting my name, that's for damn sure. Uh, I like that smile he's got there because, like, you know that if two hot Gen Z babes offered him a threesome, he would absolutely not turn it down. Uh, Lucas would maybe eat a dead squirrel, like if he found it, but he's not fast enough to catch one, and he's not smart enough to trap one. So, I mean, Click is just fine. I'll still recognize it. I actually sometimes look at my own channel and like, who the fuck is Wernology? Because I'm smart. I know you could call me Rowdy Pete. Oh God, he's making this face again. Okay, so when he makes this isn't the first time he's made a meme like this. So these are especially funny to me because before he was in Malum Place, literally every shelter he went to and every feed the poor people like their pigeons place he went to was Christian based. He went to Salvation Army, he went to House of Charity, he went to like Blessings Under the Bridge. I think Jules Helping Hands was the only one that might not have been based in a church. But literally, hey, that one's good. That's better than Rowdy Rick or Rowdy Rodriguez or whatever. But yeah, every shelter he's ever had, every place who's ever given him clothing, food, shelter, anything that he's fucked up by being himself has all been Christian. They are helping you, you dumbass. They're why you didn't die on the streets 5 years ago. They're not taking any spoils from you. Christians aren't keeping women from you. You're single because you are thoroughly unpleasant and undesirable and nobody is asking you for anything. But yeah, basically that. I mean, Christians are helping him when he legitimately doesn't deserve. You want to talk about following the path of Jesus? It's people that help out him, because honestly, yeah, no, there's no spoils. Nobody's hoarding women. You can't hoard women. They're not objects. You stupid fuck. I know. I have to take the trash out. The trash doesn't come till tomorrow morning at 7, and it's not even midnight. Yeah, pretty much all shelters are. I mean, there's a few that you'll find that are like privately run, but the vast majority are run by some form of church, whether they're Christian or you can get some that are based on other faiths. But most of them are Christian based charities. So yeah, that's who they're helping out, Lucas. You're the one who fucked up your help there. You're the one that started to pick fights or creep on female employees and volunteers. Um, yeah, I remember that time he tried going to church thinking that he would pick up a girl at church. I'm like, okay, yeah, sometimes that can happen, but if it's going to happen, you usually have to be the real clean cut sort of looking guy. They're not going to just hook up with a bum that shows up in the back pew one Sunday. Okay, whatever, Lucas. We know if you loved yourself, your health wouldn't be in the condition it's in. You would have been taking care of yourself for years. Right. This is especially funny because everyone he's ever lived with has basically said he's a lazy slob. Um, he used to post memes like this and include parts about rubbing her feet. And if you look way back in the history of Wernology, he talks about women having cute little feet, and he doesn't know how they don't come just looking at their feet. So, dude's got a foot fetish. It's kind of funny that his feet are rotting, considering that. More garbage. Oh, that's blurry. Couldn't you have picked a better one? That doesn't make any sense. I don't care to look at it. You're not going to pick up any of those pieces because she would rather be single and alone for the rest of her life than let you touch her. All right, we're gonna watch Lucas on loop crying for a while again because it's fucking funny. I'm gonna just turn on the snoring for a minute here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna leave the snoring on. I'm gonna take my dog out. You can all listen to Lucas's roommate snore and him sniffle for a couple. Yeah, apparently my desktop audio quit audioing. Oh well, you're just gonna quit audio. Oh, no, I'm a moron. See that little if you squint real small there, I had to fucking mute it in Instagram. Oh, I'm smart. I know how computers work. Yeah. Well, now you can listen to him snore. Oh, my lights have changed. It must be getting late. It's fucking changed. So, yeah, the audio wasn't low. I forgot to unmute Instagram because I'm a dumbass. I'm surprised Lucas hasn't like clipped out a part of me like calling myself a dumbass in any of these videos. Just like looped it as proof that I'm a moron. Yeah, Lucas might exist as a warning to others. I'm talking over the snoring now. Hey, you know what? Why don't we just, mute that guy again? Actually, see how the stream health is doing, see if it's yelling about anything at me. Oh, wow, it's not, for a fucking change. Cool. I'm gonna go back to his old account where he's got a bunch more videos and see if there's a really good screaming one to put on. Because I kind of miss screaming Lucas. That looks like a pretty angry one. God, look at his face. It's muted right now. Don't worry about that. Oh, this one's loud.
But you're right. It probably isn't about money. As I sit in the homeless shelter and none of these guys have girlfriends, it's not about money at all.
At a homeless shelter?
You're just lining up at the homeless shelters from Gonzaga University and all the colleges in Spokane to date us. It's not about money at all. No. As you're lighting up at, say, Truth Ministries or HOC or Canon or any of the...
Like, these are literally my favorite. This was back from when he was still, like, in college or trying to go to college. But he legitimately thought, man, I don't know, until I get bored and run out of shit to talk about. I don't know. 8 o'clock, I usually put the dog into bed by, well, no, it's actually closer to 9. I can read time, too. Yeah, Lucas wore this shirt for like 2 months straight and didn't wash it. But yeah, he was legitimately expecting women would just be lining up at homeless shelters to hook up with the bums there. It's like, what? In what fucking universe, my dude? But yeah, I kind of miss these. Like when Lucas was all angry and unmedicated, and he's stressed out now, but he's like doped up and can't really act out because he's got handlers. But like, yeah, this shit was funny. This was funny. I totally missed that. Yeah, the ones where he was just like screaming at the camera so hard that he was spitting. Those were always great too. Yeah, the hot college girls are just all going to line up at the homeless shelter. Or, well, I'd say they could line up at Malin Place, but they can't because he's not allowed to have visitors and friends over. Because he's an adult daycare. Yeah, and this throughout his videos just got progressively dirtier and dirtier. Oh yeah, that live when he purposely spit on his phone. Oh, that was at the end of. Oh, let me find which one that was because that was also funny as fuck. Yeah, he got a little ragey at Malin for a while when he didn't have a roommate, but I suspect that place seems to have like paper thin walls, and I'm pretty sure that somebody kind of overheard him. Let's just see if I can enjoy the sounds of my mechanical keyboard. Forgot my own channel name again because I changed it. I can't even get used to my own username change. Jesus Christ. Oh, look there. And then I load up my page in a different tab and I'm like, oh, wow, I'm live. Of course I'm live. I'm doing the fucking live. I'm good at technology. Where was that stream where he... Wow, I don't remember that one. Yeah, I know. I gotta turn that reminder off. My phone's buzzing at me like every 10 minutes to take the trash out, and I still actually have to sweep and clean before I do that. Oh, this isn't the one I'm looking for, but I'm going to put it on anyway because it's funny. And I'm a terrible person. That's right. Yeah, Lucas, you heard me say it. I'm a terrible person. I am a terrible, terrible person. You're probably going to see all of my subscriptions and stupid recommendations because I don't have a theme of shit I watch on YouTube, and occasionally I fall down rabbit holes of obnoxious shit. So I like it when YouTube recommends me my own videos, though. But yeah, this I did this on purpose. I don't care. It's funny. And now I got to get back and actually turn. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to play that again because I like that one. I like that music, and I like Lucas's just overall look. Yeah. I'm not sorry about that one. That was a good one. Apparently, I've been watching a lot of Kit Boga lately. But yeah, that's Kit Boga entertains the hell out of me. But I also know what he's doing, and I understand like the background of what he's doing because that's also my background. Let's see. That's the one where Lucas forgot to change the camera. How to be a creepy sex pest. Oh, his gross rib tongue. The hell did I title that one where he spit at the camera? Oh, this is what I titled it. Okay. I don't want free YouTube.
It's not in the cards for
Why do I
you.
never timestamp my shit? I mean, I know why. It's because I'm lazy.
Insults.
But
and I got the internet and a
this
lot
one
of free time.
happened close to the 150 mark, so I'm actually going to find where it happened before I...
Socialists.
Or smart to just put my headphones on so I could hear a little more clearly, but then I can't hear what the dog is doing. Which right now it sounds like he is actually snoring in the other room. Alright, back here. God, that filter he was using on those memes. This should be pretty close to where his little freak out happened. Yeah, where he actually spit at his phone and like lost his mind.
Political party, I don't like political parties, but the idea would be all businesses would run cooperatively and everybody would get paid $1 million a year. There'd be a direct democracy. That's communism. Everybody gets paid for their surplus labor. Everybody gets paid a fair wage so they can live their life. Nobody gets paid over that. The money is based on numbers on it.
Where Lucas's weight is concerned, the last time he had a police report last summer, he was 297, so he's well over 300 at this point. He's probably, I'd say, probably close to 320, maybe 330, 340. All right, back to... Oh, wow, that was a great place to pause. Hold on, I gotta get a screenshot of that. I love it when Lucas videos accidentally get paused when he's making, like, the best expressions. I'm gonna use that one as a thumbnail at some point. Come on, GIMP, open up. Okay.
Screen, you can literally make money worth anything you
You
want.
can literally make money worth anything you want.
You can base it on coconuts for all you want. But
Yeah, that's how...
basing it on material things. We don't do that. We don't base it on gold. We don't base it on silver. It's based on debt. It should be based on numbers on the screen because that's what it is.
Somebody who failed Econ 101.
I'm thinking about joining the Communist Party, to be quite honest with you. It's trendy because it's supposed to be. Capitalism sucks.
Look at that depressing room.
I'm tired of this whole shit show, capitalism.
This
the
beige
rich
on
people
white.
get pussy. Oh, the rich people get to have a nice, enjoyable life. The people with the drugs and the money.
It's getting...
I think they need $1 million a year. It's just numbers on the screen. It's all fantasy. Do you not understand this? Nobody needs to be a billionaire. They should prohibit billionaires. $1 million a year would still take you 1,000 years to be a billionaire. They don't get to be billionaires except by exploiting workers.
At least his clothes are hung up.
Why do they need billions of dollars? Yeah, that's a good question. To rape kids?
Okay, here it comes.
Get away with it, like Epstein? Trump and Biden or whatever to rape kids? I don't know.
I don't actually remember what he was asked that made him freak out like this, but it was great.
I'm not trying to pick up preteens. Are you? Get out of my face. I'm about to punch this computer screen.
It's a phone screen.
Shut up. If you don't shut up, I'm gonna knock you out. Fucking freak. Get out of my face. How about this? Your mother.
He ended it pretty soon after that. There was nothing actually all that interesting that happened after that one. But yeah, that was his little. Wow, that was another good pause. But that was his other. That was his other good little freak out where he called his phone a computer and spit at it, and then threatened to punch somebody through the phone. I'm gonna punch you through TCP/IP. Yeah, Lucas has said many times, both to me and to Walter Fate, to like meet him downtown to fight him. And I'm like, okay, first of all, I could dodge him. I mean, I might not be able to throw a great punch, but I'm fast. And Walter was in the fucking military. And Lucas looks like a rock'em sock'em robot when he tries to fight. So, whatever. I wonder if he's posted anything new on his stupid King Daddy thing. I haven't actually refreshed his page in a little while. On Instagram, what the hell? No, he actually hasn't posted in a couple hours, I don't think. An hour ago. Yeah, he's just recycling memes again. This basically does kind of sum up his life. He just has to keep doing what he's doing. He doesn't have a choice. I'm sure this was meant to be an anti-capitalism one, but Lucas is basically a hamster in a ball. What is this face he makes anyway? Yeah, everyone knows trickle-down economics is a fucking scam. They've known that for years. You're not saying anything new. I'm going to just loop this again while I talk because it's fun to watch. I like watching Lucas be sad. You know, I wonder. The I Can't Find My Girl one is pretty good, and I don't remember if I have that one on my channel, but I know somebody linked it on the forums today, so I don't actually have to go look it up. If you haven't seen the I Can't Find My Girl video, it's great, and you're going to see it as soon as I find where the hell it was better to save my life from suicide, some King of the Hill. And I know Lucas reads that thread, which just makes it even better. There's the I Can't Find My Girl. Yeah, I don't have that one on my channel. I mean, I probably should move more of that stuff to my channel, but whatever. It's a lot of work. He's got a lot of videos. He's just like a fucking manic poster. So this one, if your screen brightness is turned up far enough, you'll probably be able to see him. He was recording this in the dark in his last apartment. But it's you can see him if your screen brightness is up far enough. I should probably unmute this in OBS to make you hear it. But yeah, this is a great one with his. I'm going to put my headphones back in so I can actually hear it. Normally, I don't actually put my headphones in because I need to be able to hear what the dog is doing to make sure he's not getting into trouble. But I like this video, so I can stick one in. I don't know if you can see his face, but like on my screen, it's bright enough where I can see that he's laying on his back in his greasy bed in that greasy little grotto apartment he had. But let's laugh at Lucas crying again.
You know, I go out into public like for 2 to 4 hours a day, every day. I'm seeing guys with gray beards hook up with Gen Z women. I'm seeing black guys hook up with Gen Z women. I'm seeing Gen Z and millennials hook up with Gen Z women. I'm seeing all the 90% of the Democrats right now that are pro-socialism hooking up with all these women. But whenever I go down there, I can look around for hours. And they're not pro-money because they're Democrats. And I look around, and everywhere I go, they're never single. I can't find my girl.
That's just amazing. Honestly, Lucas crying is just one of my favorite things. I just fucking love Lucas crying. You know what? I got more of Lucas crying. We're gonna listen to Lucas crying in the park just because I feel like laughing at Lucas crying in the park. That's part of a compilation that I'll probably have to. Oh, there's the one where he's grabbing his titty. No, thank you. Let's see. He's not like other boys. Oh, that time he thought I wrote him an email. That was fun too. The one right next to it, the delusional fantasies one, where he thought someone was pretending to be Walter and emailed him to apologize to. I'm like, yeah, sure. Neither one of us apologized to you. You're an idiot. So yeah, this is the one that's got his crying in the park, and I don't actually remember how far in it is,
It's
but
not
it
in the
is,
cards for you.
I think, closer to the end. So
I'm pretty good at insults, and I got the internet and a lot of free time.
why do I never timestamp things? I don't.
Like eating
Streets.
Gen X, Gen Z for 5 years, but you just slut around with the other Gen X dudes.
So
Post Street. You go.
So this particular thing, he's in the dark. This is one, if your brightness is up, you can see the treetops. He's laying down in the park, and he started with just ranting about Gen Z again, and then it turned into like sobbing and crying and singing while he was crying, and it was honestly pretty great.
Bite you in the fucking ass for your denial of me. And I don't fucking care. You're loveless cowards. You preach how you're Marxist or anarchist or even left wing or Christian. But everything about you is hypocritical and rude.
I should just make a compilation of videos of Lucas crying, honestly. Probably not tonight, but I should make one of those sometime because it's honestly great to just listen to him cry.
Fuck you, Gen Z!
Yeah, fuck you.
Fuck you! You don't even love me, so fuck you!
Ah, Christ. Headphones. Apparently I didn't audio equalize this one very well.
You slut around with all these fucking guys but deny my ass, so fuck you! Whenever I'm around Gen Z now, I don't want to see another human being as long as I live. I just want to go away and never see you again.
Same. They don't want to see you either.
Human beings suck. I wish I never saw Gen Z, you're a bunch of loveless sellouts. Put some fucking pussy on my dick, ladies.
No thanks.
I don't fucking need you to have an attitude towards me. Fuck you. Brush your hair aside and walk away ain't gonna do anything for me.
So this is the thing that comes up, and it comes up when he's sobbing, and he's mentioned it when he's like doing memes and stuff before. He legitimately thinks that if somebody brushes their hair out of their face or blushes or smiles at him, that it means that they love him. He doesn't understand that those are nervous habits for a lot of people, and especially for women, they will do things that make them appear less of a threat, so make them appear like smaller, cuter, more harmless, because they don't know how the fucking creepy dude is gonna react. So they figure if they are as small and as demure and as, generally harmless seeming as they can be, that maybe the creepy dude who's hitting on them isn't going to rage on them, kidnap them, rape them, or kill them. It's not because they love you. It's because they're afraid of you and they want you to go away. Those are appeasement gestures. Dumbass.
Come on. I don't need 4 fucking chicks like the fucking greedy boys. I need one.
You're not going to get any.
Pussy. Not all the pussy. And I don't need zero pussy. I'm tired of this game being too hard.
It's not a game.
I'm tired of you going with other guys that are my age.
Nobody wants you.
Gango. Because of money and power and greed.
No, you're just unpleasant.
Your hypocrisy. We're the left wing.
Yeah, bring some gay guy. That was a good one.
Fuck about you. You're just fucking vagina. That's all you are, is a fucking vagina to me. Unless you show me some love, I don't fucking care. You're a bunch of fucking assholes.
Thought they were vaginas.
Retards. That's what's up.
No one cares.
Whenever I'm around you, Gen Z, you make me never want to see another human being as long as I fucking live.
Good.
Because of your denialism.
Good.
Fuck you, Gen Z.
Nobody loves you. You're gonna die
Prove
alone.
your love.
Nobody
I don't
loves you.
feel a bit from you.
That's because nobody
You're
loves
all
you.
fucking unnecessary until you love me.
Nobody
Put
loves
your
you.
fucking pussy on my dick, lady.
Gross.
Vagina. That's what I want. Some fucking vagina.
It's less than 3 inches. You couldn't reach it.
Zoomer clit.
I think this is where the crying starts.
Zoomer Bays, you say stupid ass shit. And you say, "Oh, I hate you,"
Oh, he
and then you
fixed it.
brush the hair out of my side.
It's not a mixed
Out of
signal.
your face. You know what I mean? You say, "Oh, I hate you." You smile and you brush the hair out of your face.
First of all, nobody's talking to you ever.
All
Nobody
that
talks to
turns
you.
me off.
Good.
As soon as you open your fucking mouths, you're saying hateful things, which
Yeah.
turns me off. If I had a boner,
It's because they don't like you. Like how do this is where I always kind of get, and sometimes I get into mild arguments like on the farms with this one, but when he says shit like this, like I don't think he's being genuinely dense. I think this is like his autism showing through. He like I think he legitimately does not know how to read other people. He can't read the room, he can't read other people. He doesn't understand body language communication. And I don't think that's because of his mental illness. I just think he's kind of autistic. And the only reason I can kind of safely say that is because I know part of the reason when I do have trouble in actual social situations is because I can't read body language for shit if it's directed at me. If it's directed at other people, like I can watch a group of people interacting and know exactly what's going on, but like the minute somebody directs themselves at me, I don't know what the hell's happening. I don't know if I'm being boring. I don't know if I'm talking too much. I don't know if I'm not talking enough, if I'm standing weird, if they're giving me a look that means they're enjoying the interaction, or if they're giving me a look like, what the fuck, get away from me. Like, I can't read body language when it's directed at me. So when he says stuff like this just kind of makes me think that he really is legitimately on the autism spectrum, because he does not appear to be able to read human body language, like, at all. Well, there's a difference between vibing with people and like actually being unable to understand social cues. And he just seems to have an innate inability to understand social cues. And that's something that with practice you can sort of learn to do. It doesn't come like naturally or innately like it does to a lot of people, but you can learn to kind of slow down your own interaction and kind of get an idea of what's happening. Lucas doesn't know how to do that. So when he says shit like, well, you're brushing your hair out of your face and you're blushing and smiling, but you say you hate me and it's mixed signals. It's like, it's not mixed signals. Those are appeasement gestures, and she really doesn't like you. Fuck off. Anyway, back to Lucas.
at the instant where you said, "I hate you," even if you're brushing hair out of your face, because that's a sign that you like me, I'm
No, it isn't.
instantly turned off and don't want to talk to you. You give me mixed signals.
It's not mixed signals.
And it makes me not want to talk to you anymore.
They don't want to talk to you.
You're fucking retarded, Zoomers.
No, it's you.
You think that's going to turn me on?
No.
It isn't. Fuck you.
They're not trying.
Fucking idiots.
Yeah, you are.
Be real. I hate liars. I hate
They're not
sarcasm.
lying. They don't like you.
It's fucking dumb. You're being fucking gross and dumb. I hate it. I absolutely fucking hate it.
Oh, my
I hate it when you
ears.
say,
God
"I hate
damn.
you," and you brush your hair out of your fucking face and smile. And I hate it when you fucking laugh. I hate this.
God damn.
You're too fucking confusing for looking that good. Now get the fuck off.
Okay, but this is before the sobbing starts, but could you just imagine, like, taking just a nice nighttime stroll through a park in downtown Spokane, and you just hear that screaming, like, from under a bush somewhere? Could you just keep walking? You probably just keep on walking. But, oh no, this is great, but here is where he starts crying, and I'm probably going to mute my mic for this one because I'm going to laugh the whole way through. And if I'm laughing like through it, it takes away from just the sheer joy of listening to him sob in public in a park. So enjoy.
Why can't I convince you of anything, Gen Z? Why? I'm an age gapper.
Are you just a bunch of Republican atheists? It doesn't make any fucking sense. You go with the greedy guys multiples at a time. You go with every other dude but me. You go with the Gen X dudes on Post Street and this tango. And I've been preaching age gap love in this pattern for 5 years because of my love. What are you? What are you? Just conservative atheists?
What are you? I can't. Hi, Walter. What are you, conservative atheists? This is, I mean, honestly, other than him like screaming in the park under the trees, if I was walking through the park and just like heard somebody like sob talking to himself like that, if they couldn't see me, I'd probably start recording. But yeah, I imagine you're just walking through the park and you just like hear this. Yeah, I can't imagine why women don't. Well, see, he's hoping with this shit that he's going to attract a fixer. Somebody's going to hear him crying and they're going to feel so bad for him and they're just going to want to love him and make him feel better, like, you know, a rescue dog. Only rescue dogs are cute, and actually provide something for your life, whereas Lucas is just hilariously useless. All right, let's go back to Lucas sobbing.
I'm Gen X. I don't know what to do. I don't have the money to know what to do. What would Bernie do? What would AOC do? How do we solve this soulless world? What is the matter with this country? How do we change this?
How do we change this?
It just seems like fascist meets atheism because there's no way I can convince you. I'm in such trouble. Trying and trying. I'm tired of your fucking noise and your hypocrisy and your greed and your money and your love of power. But so are you, and you're giving multiples and multiples, 7 girlfriends a week. I can't check it with your Christianity. I can't check it with your socialism, communism, or anarchism. You just keep going down this hypocritical road. Why? What do we do to reach your soul and your heart?
Who's we?
Your minds? What do we do? Why do I have to be in love with you? Why can't I just let this go? You're like fascist atheists.
Somebody driving by.
Sense. And I'm an atheist. As soon as I say you're not alone, you go somewhere else. As soon as I say we need the people in power, you just ignore me. It doesn't make any sense.
It is.
It's like
It's about to start.
atheism. It doesn't make any sense. Gen Z, you make no sense. Oh, God. Why do I have to love you when you're so unnecessary? When you're so hypocritical. You make no sense. You laugh at my pain.
Yep.
You laugh when I'm in pain and
Yep.
struggle. It makes no sense.
No, it makes a lot of sense. It's a dopamine hit.
Fuck you.
Oh, baby, Zoom.
Oh God, the singing.
What do I do? You only love me when I hate you. You little fucks and hoes, you pieces of clit. The only thing you're good for is when you ride on my dick.
Nobody's done that since 2012.
When I'm a feminist, you run away. But I prefer AOC anyway. But you only love me when I hate you.
They don't love you then
You
either.
only love me when I push you away.
No, they don't.
You tell me that you hate me as you brush the hair from your eyes. You only love me when I want you to die.
No, they
You
don't.
only love me when I hate you.
No.
You only love me when I push you away. I cannot live this way anyway. You only love me when I hate you. I give you science and you spin my eye. Go date the other.
So he claims he lost his virginity at 27, but given what we know of what he's packing, I don't think he's technically ever really lost his virginity. If you're sticking your hand up somewhere, that doesn't count. But yeah, I don't remember. I think he was in his early 30s when he was dating Suzanne, so I'm pretty sure it wasn't her, but there was just some girl he hooked up with. But I can't imagine like any girl that would have like hooked up with him in general. I don't even know how he managed to hook Suzanne because she seemed like a genuinely nice person. I don't know what the hell she ever saw in Lucas. I think this is one where he starts screaming about this "save my life from suicide" at the end. I'm pretty sure that's this one. Yeah, I feel bad for Suzanne, and honestly, she has said before she doesn't want to like talk about him or relive anything for him. So, and they've mentioned this on the farms too. Like, don't go searching for her. If you do find her for whatever reason, don't contact her about Lucas or anything. She doesn't want anything to do with him. She probably just wants to forget that aspect of her life ever happened, and I don't blame her. But yeah, it'll be 10 years since that, I think, because she kicked him out in 2012. So yeah, it'll be about a decade. That's great. And he's coming up like on a decade of that and a little over a decade of no woman ever wanting him again. That's just amazing. Oh, is he going to yell about suicide? Where does that start in this video? I should just go to Lucas's channel for these because he splits them up into multiple videos, but I don't want to give him an extra view. Hey, load the damn video. Oh, whatever. But yeah, Lucas crying is honestly one of my favorite things. So he probably is, and I think I know where that came from, because at one point I know me and a few other people in the farms thread, we got a date wrong. And we started like congratulating him on a decade of not being laid when 2021 started. And Lucas just sort of went with that. So like we were a year off with his when Suzanne kicked him out. We were thinking like 2011, I think. And Lucas just kind of went with it. So like Lucas is already adding an extra year, or maybe Lucas is just looking into the future and seeing that it's going to be an 11-year thing. Really, you're not going to load it, and I'm really going to have to reload this whole thing. You want to be like that today? Oof, that's an ugly thumbnail.
Stabilization. I was there for 2 weeks, and I was at.
Here we go. This is the Save My Life from Suicide if you've never seen it.
I know I just got out of Kalispell stabilization. I was there for 2 weeks, and I was at Foothills for 2 weeks. But they fucked up. They said I would have a place to live at the Oxford House, and I had to do an interview. I've been sleeping on the street. I'm seeing all the sluttiness around the Ryler, and it's all over Friday and Saturday nights in Spokane. But they don't want to save my life. They don't want to, like, sleep with me. They're age gapping with all these millennial dudes, these Zoomer chicks. They're age gapping with the baby boomers. They're age gapping with Generation X. But they don't want to save my life from suicide. I don't understand. They're usually so nice and generous and cool and kind. But these hot women don't want to save my fucking life after I preached age gap love for 5 years between Generation X and Generation Z. And now it's mainstream on Post Street and all over this town. But you guys just leave me stranded here like a dumb motherfucker thinking you don't have any fucking love. The problem is you. The problem is you. I love you, but I hate you because you're beautiful and you're attractive with those nice fucking thick thighs, that intelligence, that beauty, that charm, that wit, that candor. But you women don't give a fuck about me. You're just a bunch of bougie assholes that go with the guys with the car and the money and the credit cards. We're talking about how you're socialist or communist.
Yeah, that preaching age gap love thing is something he's been doing for a few years, not actually preaching it, but claiming he was preaching it. If you go back to his original Lucas Werner channel, he's got two channels. He's got Lucas Werner and the Wern. I actually do have them both linked, despite the fact that he's blocked me. But if you sort them by date and you go back, he's got a small sort of series where he basically says that anytime he sees like an older man with a younger woman, he knows that they saw his conversation rage page or conversation our age or whatever the hell he wanted to call it, and that they were using his research on telomerase to get the young women, and that he has to go around the corner and throw up because it's so disgusting that they got a woman and he didn't, and they're using his research. Like, he legitimately thinks that he's a preacher of this that everybody knows. So yeah, the graybeards, the graybeards. Does he still call them that? I mean, his own beard is kind of turning a little gray. Isn't he a gray beard this one? Yeah, don't fucking lie to me. I see you. He just, oh my god. And it never like crosses his mind that this could be, I mean, granted, if you see somebody like holding hands or making out, it's probably not a father-daughter, but he doesn't like stop to think that a lot of times if it's just a younger woman walking with an older man, that's probably her dad. And they're not fucking, so settle down. Yeah, I don't think I've heard him say graybeards in a while, and I'm wondering if maybe that's because his own beard is turning a little gray. I mean, he didn't used to be a graybeard, but he's sure turning into one pretty fast now. Oh, go back to there's about a minute left of his shouting, so we're going to go back and listen to Lucas shout. He does say gray, yeah, the gray-haired comes out like he doesn't have a skunk stripe going on over that bald spot of his, goddamn.
Anarchist. Bullshit. Save my life from suicide because I have to go to stabilization tonight because I've been sitting here crying as none of these women have given a damn about me in Spokane. You make me wish I was dead. Save my life from suicide.
You're scaring the hell out of me, man. Everything that I do good, I try to do good.
Oh, my old outro. Yeah. So, yeah, that was that Save My Life from Suicide, if you haven't heard that one. But, yeah, he's something else. But yeah, age gap love just sounds so creepy. Yeah, he's just gross. But yeah, that Save My Life from Suicide is classic. He's got one, and I don't remember which one it's in, but he screams, "This is no time to YOLO," which shouldn't be as funny as it is, but he clearly doesn't know what YOLO means. Yeah, I liked my old outro too, but the new, I should actually, since that intro gets not a copyright strike, but a copyright claim every time because there's enough of a clip of that song in there, but I should really get the uncensored one where it just says Short Dick Man and not Short Man. Because I feel like it's lost on Lucas when it doesn't actually say Short Dick Man because he doesn't understand it. Oh, I got a lot of red lines on my screen today. But yeah, that Saved My Life from Suicide, that whole yelling thing, he's just awesome. I kind of want to find the voicemail that he sent to Tiffany, because, again, that one is just, like, hilarious. I need to title my stuff so I can find it better, and I'm just really bad at it. I wonder if I can actually find... Probably not. Watch it come up with nothing. Why does this show up with Tiffany? Because neither one of these are the voicemails. And if it's not in there, I'm pretty sure I put it under his dating profiles. Oh, great. Which one is it? Oh, probably the one that says which woman or what woman doesn't like to be called an ovulator. So this one, if you are not familiar with Tiffy Bay, so this was the same person, I think this was the same, yeah, he said ovulator, he says it in this one. I think this was the same person that ended up catfishing him to LA, and for this one, and this was from Goldar, whatever, was telling me this, so take that with a grain of salt, because the guy was talking to him. But I think the guy that pretended to be Tiffany they got a burner number, but they got his female friend to call Lucas while he was in the waiting room waiting for intake before another psych hold to say, hey, when you get out of your psych hold, you can come live with me. I'll let you live with me. I'm 19 years old and hot. And he fell for it. And I remember this specifically because he talked to me about it in DMs. And he said that he got a text from her. And I said, well, shouldn't you maybe talk to her first, at least a voice call, if not a video call? If someone is inviting, how? How is this not a red flag to you? You are in the waiting room waiting for a bed for a psych intake and eval, and just some random 19-year-old woman texts you and offers to let you live with her. Does that not raise any red flags? And of course it didn't. but again, I was kind of like, hey, you need to be careful, man, because that sounds like a catfish, and I'm pretty sure that this Tiffany person doesn't exist. But he fell for it. And through these voicemails, I think there's like 3 of them. The first one's the only one that's really funny because he puts on if you've never heard Wern's sexy voice, and this is probably just going to ruin Walter's night if he's still in here because he's going to have to hear Wern's sexy voice again. But he goes from his sexy voice with his weird fantasy of talking shit to flat bills or something to slowly starting to realize that Tiffany doesn't exist because the person who was actually doing the catfishing kind of got cold feet with like, hey, maybe you shouldn't really be actively fucking with someone who might be suicidal, because if you actually lead him to a random house and there's somebody that lives there, you could potentially get like a random stranger assaulted or just generally freak them out. You don't know how unpredictable Lucas is going to be. This is a bad idea. Stop calling him, stop returning his calls, just stop. Oh yeah, it reminds me of something you would hear on TCAP. It's not as bad as Lorne's calls. Oh yeah, I need to re-listen to that Golden USB finale. That was just such an amazing build-up to a massively beautiful freak out at the end. Yeah, like Lucas could get shot. I mean, if Lucas actually assaulted somebody or got assaulted or killed, luring him to just a random house because you wanted to fuck with him and catfish him, if they found out who was doing that, you could get in some legal trouble for that. Yeah, I've got the golden USB one somewhere on my channel back there. It was the only one I could get Golder to give me. The rest of them are still privated, and he doesn't want to let me grab them. But whatever. But yeah, the last Golden USB episode is definitely worth a listen. But if you're listening on headphones, make sure they're down low because Lucas has like no volume control, and he spends most of it shouting. So yeah, let's listen to the ovulator thing because this is honestly so gross. His sexy voice is, I can't decide if his sexy voice is funny or if it's just like enough to count as like chemical castration to have to listen to it. Or like watching him eat those noodles with the colored pencils. That's just nasty, but I'm never going to change that intro because I love it.
Insults, and I got the internet and a lot of free time.
Hey, I tried calling you the first time I got here because you gave me a phone number. I was at Deaconess, and you said that because I was suicidal, I could come and live with you and be your boyfriend.
How's that not a red flag?
And you're Gen Z and I'm Gen X, and I know all that research on that egg ovulator. And I know
You see there
on my sperm. 2,100 studies, baby.
He did say her name. He was saying Tiffy. He either says Tiffy or Tiffy Bay, but like one of the two. But yeah, he was calling himself suicidal to be sexy, and like he didn't think that was a red flag that he was saying he was suicidal, and somebody just like randomly texted him saying, "Hi, I'm 19 years old and hot. You want to live with me?" But yeah, there was the ovulator. When he said baby just there though, and I'm gonna like bump it back a couple seconds so you can hear it again. If you've ever watched Beavis and Butthead, whenever Butthead's trying to flirt, he says baby exactly the same way that Lucas says baby, and that is always going to be hilarious to me. But we'll just listen to "Hey Baby" again. Lucas doesn't say he's joking about suicide, but Lucas will use it to try to get his way. So let's listen to the "Hey Baby" again.
And I know all that research on my sperm. 2,100 studies, baby.
Butthead.
Chris Kazawa, Dan Eisenberg, Reinhard Stindl, Manila, Tokyo, Belgium, Harvard, Evanston, Illinois, Seattle, and now there's a 7th one. So each of those.
Honestly, Lorne's voice was way more annoying when he called what he thought was that 14-year-old. Just, oh, yeah, Lorne. I mean, Lucas is creepy, but he's like ineptly creepy, if that makes any sense. Like, Lorne is also a little bit inept, but Lorne is significantly more dangerous than Lucas ever was. And like Lucas, at least he had the 15-year-old that he sort of asked out to dinner, but at least the people we have like recordings of him doing this shit to have typically been 18 or older. But Lorne, like, and those recorded ones from To Catch a, well, they weren't from To Catch a Predator, from For Perverted Justice. he knew he was talking to a 14-year-old, and that was just fucking creepy. Yeah, Lucas talks like a 90s teenager because that's where Lucas's mind is. I mean, I guess if you chug enough beer, you'd get drunk, but take me a bit. Yeah, Lauren has a legitimate alcohol problem, which doesn't excuse anything, but it also contributes a lot to his poor shit judgment. And it definitely doesn't excuse. I mean, there's a lot of recorded calls out there with Lauren with like adults, and he's just kind of a genuinely awful person too when it comes out when he's drinking. Lauren has at least been to jail and is a registered sex offender because he actually did show up somewhere with the intent of assaulting a 14-year-old girl. Lucas can't attract anyone to do that, so there's that. But yeah, Lauren is I have listened to all of the Lauren phone calls to the 14-year-old. I've listened to most of the calls with Ember and that other group of women, and he's just no. I've also seen Lauren's YouTube channel, I think is still there, where he tried to make like a vegan cooking and exercise show. And the main video from Lauren on his own channel that I remember is when he was doing the mac and cheese story that went nowhere. But yeah, they're definitely similar in that case. Like, who the hell falls for? I mean, the people on TCAP are just dumb as hell, because you could, if you're a normal functioning adult of any type, that kind of conversation, especially when you get on the phone, it doesn't sound like a 14-year-old. It sounds like somebody putting on a child's voice. But yeah, they're definitely similar in what they fall for catfishing. Lauren has fallen for multiple catfish, I think. Only one 14-year-old. But basically all you have to do to catfish either one of them is just say that you're a pretty woman and you want them, and they'll just fall for it without a second thought. They're idiots. But yeah, they're just both idiots. But yeah, Lauren's mac and cheese video is so unintentionally funny because it's just this long rambling story about mac and cheese and something like $500 that doesn't go anywhere. No, that bell ringing is actually my parrot. He has a tube bell that's his favorite toy, and around this time of night he starts wailing on it. The dog is asleep by the front door. Back to Tiffy Bay.
Yeah, it says 55 studies, and there's about 6 people on each one. And when you do the math, that's 2,100 studies. Almost.
That's not how the math works.
18 to 24-year-olds are the healthiest DNA in a child. Baby, I need my little ovulator.
Baby, ovulator.
You talk about classism. Well, for Bernie Sanders, I've seen those nurses in line at just Shalom Ministries getting that free food, honey bunny, with those guys because those guys have less money than them. So if you're going to be there tricking me, I don't know what's up. Those little flat-billed little clones were talking shit with their tattoos. They're talking shit. I'm going to talk shit right back just to protect my little baby. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, babages, when you call me, Inland Northwest Behavioral Health, my phone number is on Google. You better call me. And that number you need to get a hold of me.
The number that was beeped out, he actually gave the number that when you call the inpatient psych ward, you have to give a certain code, basically, that's specific to that patient, so the staff know that you're someone that the patient wants to talk to. And that was obviously purposely bleeped out so people wouldn't call the hospital to just troll Lucas, because that, again, that's kind of a line that normal people wouldn't cross, but occasionally you get assholes that think they're anonymous. But yeah, all of this he thinks is sexy, but every time he says baby, all I can picture is butthead. Yeah, they're gonna protect his little baby honey bunny getting that free food in the homeless shelter line. Does that turn you on? It doesn't turn anyone on.
Because you know what? You and me together making them babies, baby making music, whatever it is. You and me. Baby, I need a little A&B. You need a Democrat?
You a Democrat?
You need a guy studying for a PhD? I'm right here.
In the psych ward.
The best guy in town. That's what's up. Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
I I think the problem with the me calling you the first day I got here is that the volume was too low on the phone.
That wasn't the
I
problem.
just replayed my message.
That wasn't the problem.
And it was low. So you probably didn't hear what I was saying. I was thinking you were trolling me, but maybe not, because you gave me your phone number, and I would just put it on Instagram and have my buddies troll you. If you give me your phone number, you're tricking me. But I don't think you were tricking me at all.
I don't think you were tricking me.
I think I just recorded the message.
The volume was just too low.
The volume was too low. But here's the thing, okay? You and I together, we'd create stronger DNA in a child because you've seen my Instagram.
Wait, did I do what? He always sounds out of breath, but this is his sexy voice for Tiffy Bay. I don't even think I could make myself sound that slimy and disgusting. He's threatening to put her phone number, and it was a burner phone at least, but yeah. But telling him about catfish. Well, honestly, some of it is just to see how dumb he is, because he's really easy to lead. But some of it too is like, first of all, if he dies, obviously the fun stops. But if it's kind of one of those things that there's kind of lines, at least for me, and when they do the catfish, there's certain ways that they do the catfishing that could put other people in danger that aren't Lucas, like when they give him just addresses of random houses to go to, or they use pictures of like people that aren't, obvious models or something, where they just steal someone's like random selfies for people who aren't like easily looked up models or influencers or things like that. That can get other people in trouble. Yeah, the cameras know who delivered the cat. It was the DoorDash driver that I paid to go there. But yeah, when it gets to catfishing where it's potentially putting other people in danger, like at that point, it's not really funny. And those are the ones that I typically will try to be the quote unquote concerned friend and say like, hey, doesn't this raise any red flags for you? Be careful, man. But yeah, when it's ones that could potentially put people who aren't Lucas in danger, those aren't funny catfish. I mean, if you're luring Lucas out to a cafe somewhere or a restaurant and he's just obviously going to get ghosted because the girl doesn't exist, okay, yeah, that's a little funny. It's easy to do, but that doesn't really hurt anyone. Technically, even the LA thing didn't really hurt anyone. There was never anyone for him to meet. They just had to subject Ritz-Carlton employees and Uber driver and people on a plane to a smelly hobo. But with some of the ones, and typically the ones that I like try to warn him about, are ones where he could be actually put in like significant danger and other people could get in trouble. Or where it's clear that he's going to be led to like a fake address of some random person's house, and he is, at the end of the day, at the time anyway, he was unmedicated, unstable, and mentally ill. So you don't know what might make him snap and what might not, or if the person who actually lives at that house is going to lose their damn mind when a fat, smelly hobo shows up looking for an 18-year-old and will do something to him. So, like, that shit's not funny to me, and he's never talked out of it. He's an idiot. He'll go every time. But those are the ones that I typically mention to him, where it's ones where other people who are not like part of it, who are not willing participants, would get dragged into it, because that, at least for me, is just like a line. Really, troll Lucas, fuck with Lucas, but don't drag unsuspecting people into Lucas, because nobody should have to interact with Lucas if they're not there. Yeah, the guy who did the LA catfish as part of Sofala and was on Kiwi Farms, I think his name on Kiwi Farms was Big Cats. And he didn't actually think Lucas would fall for it, especially after he put the lap infant of It's Not in the Cards Werner on there, and Lucas would have got a notification about that edition. So the guy who did it actually didn't think Lucas was going to fall for it. So that was surprising to kind of everyone. And like even on the farms, like none of us thought he was going to actually do it because it was so obviously a catfish. But yeah, despite all of that, the dumbass went. But yeah, if he shows up at the wrong house, he could get a bad response from somebody, even if he doesn't tell them why they're there. And that could get people in legal trouble, that could get people assaulted, that could get people killed. That's not super funny. But yeah, that LA one, Lucas didn't die, so we can all laugh at the LA saga, and like nobody really got hurt except Lucas's ego just got like trashed. But puppy, what are you eating? Where did you find that? Are you eating a paper towel? You're eating a paper towel. Why? Such a smart dog. Why are you so dumb sometimes? But yeah, they really underestimated Lucas. But yeah, that oh man, the Christmas before last when Lucas was in LA and stranded and like sobbing his eyes out and that was like perfect chef's kiss amazing. Nothing will ever really top that saga. That was just amazing. Oh yeah, it's really hard to catfish him now. I won't say it's hard to catfish him. It's easy to catfish him still because he still mentions like obvious to me catfish. Um, but he is harder to lure out. So basically now he insists that anyone claiming to be a woman interested in him come meet him outside of Malin Place, which, totally breaks the whole thing up. Yeah, I keep the bathroom door closed because the kittens like to unravel the toilet paper, and we don't enjoy that. So the bathroom door stays closed. But yeah, back to the Tiffy Bay and the butthead voice. But the thing I like about this one is you can hear he's still doing the sexy voice at this point, but you can hear as it goes on that he's pretty certain that he's been fucked with again, and he's just like kind of mad at the end, but it's great.
I'm thinking ovulator.
Oh, why can't I hear it? Duh, I didn't put my headphones back in.
You know about those 7 teams working on my DNA.
He's not allowed to have friends over.
Transfer. Sperm telomeres. Chris Kazawa, Dan Eisenberg.
Dan Eisenberg sent him to C&D.
Reinhard Stindl from the Belgium team. Of course, there's Manila. There's Tokyo. There's Belgium. There's the Evanston, Illinois team. Before that, there was the Harvard team. There's the Seattle team. Now there's a 7th team that has confirmed it. And everything I've read on telomeres says that longer telomeres in mice gives immunity to cancer. And I want to be the daddy to your children.
Gross.
I see those guys out there at the Shalom Ministries getting that food with those hot nurses because I've seen them at HOC.
They're volunteers. Holy shit.
They're thinking they're going to give their babies stronger DNA, so they're hooking up with Gen Z.
They're thinking they're going to get free food.
Gen Z dudes ain't shit, according to the Zurich study in 2015 and the study from Cambridge. So we know about 35 to 55-year-old dudes given the stronger DNA. And here we are in the middle of COVID-19. I'm Gen X, you're Gen Z. Think about this a second. We're going to need stronger DNA with more immunity after a pandemic. Because in Spokane County, it's been doing nothing but going up since March 14th. 0 cases on March 14th. June 23rd, 1,051 cases. July 11th, 2,026 cases. July 23rd, 3,074 cases. August 4th, Obama's birthday. You need a Democrat, baby? I'm right here. 4,059 cases. August 22nd.
Dan Eisenberg did. So Dan Eisenberg has been, and again, don't email him about this. He's well aware of Lucas. But he'd been getting emails for a while of like, hey, this like borderline pedophile is using your research and name dropping you, saying you basically support his point of view. And he was like, yeah, I know. We've known about this guy for a couple of years. We're not sure how to handle it, considering he's homeless and mentally ill. And there was one video that he posted. He used to say we were making it up. But that's actually did hear that in Walter's voice too. But he posted one video basically yelling at Dan Eisenberg about if it's not true, why is it on the internet? Yeah, Lucas did put I think that's finally what got him the C&D, was that Lucas had posted Dan Eisenberg's, or screenshots of Dan Eisenberg's study on his Patreon and was charging people to read it when that's a freely available paper, not behind a paywall. And that's probably what finally got him the C&D. But yeah, Eisenberg's been aware of him for years, has told him that he has completely misunderstood the research, doesn't understand what he's talking about. A couple authors of a couple different studies on Twitter have told him the same thing, and when he did, Lucas either said it was a troll and not like the real author, or basically like threw a fit and was like, stop attacking me. But yeah, he was stealing that and putting it behind a Patreon, and he got mad that he got in trouble for that. But yeah, he's a moron. Yeah, the rotten lettuce comment, that was a great one. So stop calling me rotten lettuce. You're being mean to me. I'm gonna block you. I'm like, dude, the author of the study you're citing, Cat, you're fine. the author of the study you're citing is telling you that you're not understanding the research, and your response is, you're being mean. I don't remember if he called him a bigot, but he told him he was attacking him and being negative. It's like, well, there's no way to really tell someone that they're wrong without technically being negative. So that one wasn't Eisenberg. That was the author of a different study, and that was on Twitter. Oh yeah, Werner Meat Snacks. That was a good one too. When he was doing the German royalty thing, like claiming, oh, there's like Werner Trucking and Werner Snacks and Werner Meats or whatever, and the Werner Meats people were like, or the Werner Snacks people were like, yeah, this guy has no affiliation with us. It's like, well, I didn't mean I was related to them. I just mean it's like a really common name. And it's like, well, if it's a really common name, then you're probably not royalty, dude. Plus, there hasn't really been German royalty in a century. So, okay. Apparently the cat in the bedroom wants to not be the cat in the bedroom, so I'm going to turn Lucas's shitty voice. I mean, that's the name of the Discord we made when we thought we were going to get him in there for a golden USB, is Werner has no sausage. But I have to go let the cat out because he won't stop crying at the door. And I'm going to just put Lucas back on with his voicemails and go move the cat.
5,011 cases. September 16th, 6,040 cases. September 26th, 7,040 cases. 7,050, I'm sorry. October 10th, 8,007 cases. October 22, 9,017 cases. November 1, 10,126 cases. November 7th, 11,030 cases. November 3rd. Alright, so TV Bay, if you're still interested, let me crank up the volume. If you're still interested, TV Bay, you gave me your phone number, and I think you were about to give me your address. You said it was on State Street, and I think that you're still interested because the volume was too low. I just realized today, after 2 weeks of being here, that the mistake was mine, and the volume was not set to the level that it needed to be for a proper phone call. It was too low. So you know all that stuff about me, you know all that stuff about ye, and we know all the stuff about how they're all for Bernie and they're fucking with guys that are in lower economic class, and I need my chance. I need that. So if you're going to call Inland Northwest Behavioral Health to get a hold of me, I hope the volume is high. I'm going to listen to the message this time and make sure it's good. The last one seemed good. You're going to need a code. Just ask for Lucas Werner and give that code. And the code will get you through to me, and then you can call me. I think you're legit. I think you're beautiful. And I think I need a little of that A to B. You're a Democrat, babe? I'm right here, honey. I think we're going to need to make stronger DNA in children after a pandemic. Or even during a pandemic, you know what I'm saying? 9 months. We just went into lockdown again. Dangerous times. You know, the mouse studies, longer telomeres in a mice, says the mice have immunity to cancer when they have longer telomeres. And Gen X seed, that would be me, would give their kids an immunity to cancer.
Oh, cool. I'm back just in time.
18 to 24
well, for 50%. Hi, kitty.
Egg,
I have a kitten at this point. Yeah, that kissing sound is awful. Yeah, just go drag the cat tunnel around and shake it. That's not weird or anything.
Would be even double immunity.
Yeah, I got one of the kittens came running out and is sitting with me, and it's the kitten that
is immunity.
He has the worst. Oh, I should probably mute that. He's the kitten that tests his self-control the most. So I should probably. Hey, what are we doing? I see you eyeballing her. She's not a toy. And she doesn't want to wrestle with you, I promise. You're like 50 pounds and she's 4. Yeah, you gonna leave her alone? Hey? Buddy, do I need to stick you on a leash real quick? Yeah, how about we just hook your leash up real quick? Here. Yeah, you lay on the couch. in the couch and let me be an irresponsible adult for a while and don't chase that cat. I know, life is not fair. But that cat's been in the room all day, so. He doesn't actually tear the thing apart. It's one of those like collapsible wire ones, and he just like picks it up and just shakes it as hard as he can. And it's kind of actually funny, but did I actually remember to pause this? No, of course I didn't. I'm good at YouTube. Thank God I'm not trying to get paid for this because people would want refunds. I'm not at all great at this. I don't even remember which part of the voicemails I'm into. Yeah, the kitten she's like 7 months old, and I don't think she's going to get any bigger, but she's about 4.5 pounds, and her mother was tiny too, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a kitten-sized cat forever. Back that up a little bit. So if I'd remembered to pause this, this is kind of near the ends of the voicemails when he's pretty sure he's being trolled, so.
And at the associate's level, year 2, I'm going to be doing online schooling in January. So, I mean, I'm improving my life. I'm designing board games, designing other good board games.
Designing board games. What time?
So, I just wanted to see what was up. If you want to get a hold of me, Inland Northwest Behavioral Health, you can call me and do.
She never called him.
Give him my first and last name, Lucas Werner, and give him that number code, and you'll be able to give me a message. I saw that heard that your messages got cleared out. So I know you're checking your messages, and I just want to see what was going on because there's a possibility I could be released.
So the messages got cleared out because by that point, the person who was catfishing him like started to panic a little bit because people were pointing out like, hey, you were like actively catfishing someone who is on a psych hold for being suicidal. Is that really a good idea? But yeah, he bought that hook, line, and fucking sinker. Yeah, oh, that's not the worst voicemail he's ever left for somebody, actually. That's not even close. Not even close. So these are ones that were sent from people that he sent like Instagram voice DMs to, and they gave permission to have them reposted.
Hey.
I did put Tiffany at the beginning again.
I tried calling you the first time I got here because you gave me your phone number.
I'm going to skip Tiffy. We've already listened to her. Oh, wait, this one is only Tiffany. I remember I split that out. Where the hell are the DMs? Hey, there's the catfish one. I'm going to assume everyone in this chat has seen the catfish delivery at this point because... Oh, that's the one where he's pissing in the toilet. There's the golden USB final podcast. What the hell did I title the one with the actual voicemails? Oh, wow. When did I get 806 subscribers? It was like 760 the last time I looked. Oh, don't chew my headphones. What are you doing? I thought the dog was bad. Hi. Hello? You're extreme here. I don't know how loud that was, but she was just purring up against the mic. Don't step on my keyboard, please. You're very cute, but God, you're in the way. What in the hell were those things called? I wonder if I put them under the dating profiles playlist. I'm super organized, in case you can tell. Oh, yeah, that's the one of the podcasts he was yelling about. Why are there 18 videos on this? Oh, my Lord. Oh, that's the... the cold calling, that's it. So these were ones that were Instagram DMs that were sent to people, and I can't remember who they sent those to, but they got permission to have them posted publicly. Honestly, I'm probably only going to just leave Sage's up there because Sage was the one who recorded herself playing the DMs, and holy fuck. It's funny. Just the faces she's making while Lucas is babbling on in her Instagram DMs. And this was not somebody that he knew or had ever met. Puppy, that's very good. Yeah, that's very good. Yeah, I know she's rolling on the couch and you really want to go pick her up, but she doesn't want you to. Hey, good boy. Sorry, the impulse control with this particular cat has been a sticking point that he's working very hard on, so I'm making sure to tell him when he's doing a good job of not trying to pick her up in his mouth. He's not mean to her, he just wants to like wrestle with her and play, but she's very, very small and does not appreciate that. Yeah, oh, Sage is just an entire mood. Sage is kind of the mood that I like to picture every woman Lucas interacts with. Lucas is like beyond cringe. Lucas is something so far beyond cringe. Hi, you're gonna knock my water over and then I'm not gonna be super happy with you. Okay. Now please don't chew the headphones because I want to listen to his DMs again. It's been a while. Goldar, that's who actually did it.
Career in genetics and want to get a PhD.
I love this
it's going
one.
to take me 20 years to do, but I'm writing a dissertation on it. Age gap breeding. The fecal ova is 18 to 25. The fecal sperm, as per 300 studies, is 35 to 55. You might be like, ew, and I might be like, I think I'll block you because age phobia is a form of bigotry. Also, there's a lot of classism amongst the ACAB, and I'm ACABby. I don't like the cops.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh, you're a communist, but I have to have a certain amount of money for you to date me. It ain't gonna fly. I live in a homeless shelter. I'm trying to get an apartment. But like the classism where you're like, oh, you're a broke. But you see a lot of the left-wingers doing it. So anyway, beautiful Sage, I just wanted to say I like your pictures. You seem cute. I'm real tired of Spokane's whole attitude of like two chicks to a dude or more. We're left wing and that's greed. Bernie Sanders and Yang and Elizabeth, we all hate greed. We're socialist. We need to start acting like it.
He doesn't.
The age phobia from wiggers and like the Gen Z dudes and the Gen Z period needs to end. I will literally whip out those 300 studies in a 3-ring binder if you want me to show you the proof that young dudes corrupt DNA of their children. I will prove that to you. Or that my age group, Gen X, will give your kids stronger DNA. I'll go into everything.
Like, what happened to "Hi, I'm Lucas, how are you"? I thought that was his like pickup line that could never fail, but he like didn't even open this one with "Hi, I'm Lucas." He just like started out babbling about his sperm and age gaps.
With you, and I'll do it at a restaurant. Like, if you want to get a burger sometime, I'm here, you know what I mean? I am here for you. But until then, I'm not. I'm just there, you know? Well, observing the greed and the bullshit and the bigotry and waiting for it to burn into hell. But anyway, hi, I'm Lucas. I just wanted to say hello. I thought you were beautiful. And I wanted to know if you wanted to get a burger sometime.
So that's his never fails pickup line. Oh, he does. I mean, that was his never fails pickup line there, and it looks like it failed pretty hard, to be honest. She doesn't look too impressed. Hey, what are you doing, puppy? Hey, what are we doing? I don't know what you're chasing under there, but it better not be a kitten. Oh, it's a toy. All right, you can have that. He's not done yet.
And I mean, I know a lot of people are like vegans and vegetarians now, so I know some places about that. I'm actually looking into veganism, so I'm doing my research.
You forgot about the
right
sperm.
now I'm an omnivore, but I want to lose some more weight and lower my blood sugar. So if you're a vegan, it's not going to offend me. If you're a meat eater or omnivore, it's not going to offend me. Oh, and I'm not against sexual promiscuity either. I mean, I'm left-wing. You know, it's Washington State. Most of us are left-wing. We're progressive. I I don't care if you're poly or whatever, you know, I just, it's COVID-19, and you go down to the bar scene like Fast Eddie's or any of the bars, the Globe or Garageland, it's just a bunch of, like, people without masks, not social distancing, swooping chicks, like 2 to 12 at a time. I've seen it. It's greedy, and it's against the left wing, and it's against science. I want you to be safe. I think the little Gen Z dudes are the problem.
Yeah, now he's mad at poly people for being quote unquote greedy. But yeah, he did his famous pickup line in the middle of like rambling about his sperm and studies that he doesn't understand and shit. And I get the feeling that like even if women don't look at him like this while he's talking to them on the rare occasions that he does try to talk to someone, it's probably how they look in their head. But yeah, I don't even have the parts that he's trying to get into, and it's making me shrivel up. It's just he could dry up a swamp just by talking to it. He's just so indescribably gross. Hi, kitty. You're tangled in my cords here. I need apparently cordless things because now there's a kitten tangled in my headphones. What are you doing? Oh my god. Why are you like this?
I know I've said it like 3-4 times, but hi, I'm Lucas. I thought you were beautiful, and I just wanted to.
Oh, he repeated it.
See if you want to go out sometime.
She doesn't. Clearly, she doesn't. Lucas is just universally not sexy. Yeah, she is an adorable little kitten. She also needs to be spayed.
Well, not exactly, sweetheart. Okay means absolute perfect health. Absolute perfect sympathy and empathy.
This dude's wanting perfect
intelligence. Are you in perfect health? I mean, even I can't say I'm in perfect health. My mom was 24 when I was born, so I'm in that range of where it would be the perfect.
That's why Lucas gets all the ladies. He just opens with, "Hi, I'm Lucas. I have magic sperm. It's nice to meet you." It's totally why he gets like laid all the time.
Big fecundity of telomerase. My dad was 28, but you know, we didn't know this stuff till 2012, and there's been 300 studies just from one team, and there's like 4 teams. You got to look at it as a whole. The whole.
I'm just there, you know.
Thanks, Kat. Anyway, it's worth noting on the second voicemail or voice DMs here that he's just sending these to somebody's Instagram DMs. I'm sure she was probably replying. Well, actually, it doesn't sound like she was totally replying, but the second one might have actually been replying to him because he does seem to respond a couple of times. Like she responded to him with text and he was trying to like give her a rebuttal of her saying, "Okay, you're a fucking lunatic, go away." But yeah, he had been, when he was trying this pickup thing, he had been just basically searching through the Spokane hashtags on Instagram and looking for women who looked like they were in their 20s and just like randomly DMing them. Just shit like this. And not like text either. It was voice DMs at this point because I guess he thought maybe that if they heard his voice that they would fall in love with him. I don't know. He's got an unpleasant voice.
And empathy since 2000. So I mean, like, look around. Does it seem like people are less caring, less intelligent, and less physically fit? It should. I mean, just in general.
I know he's barred from most bars and clubs for being a fucking creep and taking creep shots and getting complaints. I don't actually know if his picture's up there. I live on the East Coast. I'm like nowhere near Washington. But I do know he's banned from a significant chunk of bars and clubs because of his behavior. A dirty diaper is more useful than Lucas, too. I don't know how it's more useful, but it's definitely more useful. I know that kitty is making you cry because she's sitting right out of your leash range and you can just learn to cope. And unlike Lucas, you have coping skills, so you'll figure it out. Dog again.
People are bad, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, people are bad, Lucas.
And it's getting worse. Like, there was that movie, Idiocracy. It just seems like post-Trump America, where even the Democrats are out there.
Oh yeah, when he inherits that, 12 acres in a state-owned elk herd with probably a rundown ranch house on it, I'm gonna be so jealous of that. Yeah, Lucas Werner is shit without the diaper. Yeah, I don't know. He's gonna have to be able to get a permit to hunt those elk because his daddy don't own them. Hey, please don't bite the kitty's head. I know that her entire head fits in your mouth, but she really does not enjoy that. I like how he actually thinks he's still in his parents' will, like when they don't want anything to do with him. Like maybe they'll send him like a PF Chang gift card when they die, or a board game designing box. Yeah, I mean, it'd probably be nice to own. I wouldn't mind owning a few acres out in the middle of nowhere, but I also wouldn't brag about it. Hey, let's not jump on the desk, buddy. Just because you can reach it doesn't mean you're supposed to. The cat is literally rolling around on the desk tray table and it is driving the dog nuts. No, he gets no KFC because he wouldn't talk about the voices on the wind. Yeah, his dad doesn't really talk to him much at all. I know he follows his dad on Instagram, but I don't think his dad follows him back, and I don't know that his dad actually uses Instagram all that much. But most of his family members, on social media, have blocked him because he's just disgusting. Yeah, you're on a leash. You can't chase her. Chill. Yeah, I think Goldar sent him $80 worth of KFC once. It was enough food for literally a family of 4 to 6, and Lucas just fucking ate it all. Yeah, no KFC for you. Yeah, okay. Fuck these voicemails. Where's no KFC for you? Oh, that's... Get me off of my playlist. You're fine. I know the kitty's frustrating, but you don't need to chase her. I know it's near the end, but I don't exactly know how close to the end it is, since it's probably going to take me a minute to find the actual part where there's the total meltdown and the screaming, but... Oh, why would you... I mean, I get that... Yeah, if you're over a certain age, you probably get Seinfeld, Jesus Christ, Seinfeld references, but why would you think that anyone in their early 20s or teens at this point would get the No Soup for You reference? I mean, I get it because I'm fucking old, and that show was on TV, not in syndication, when I was a teenager. So, what? I might go back a little further than the no KFC for you thing because the dog is crying to go out again. It has been a while. But I'm going to actually find where that meltdown sort of starts. Oh, right. I probably need to be able to hear it, so I should put that headphone back on my freaking head. Oh, well, he just claimed he went to Lollapalooza, where I'm going to start this one. But this was kind of where Sophie, Goldar's girlfriend, was talking to him. And the meltdown, if you haven't seen the last part of this podcast, the last part of it, Sophie was doing the interviews, and he, would try to flirt with Sophie. And they were doing this thing where she was trying to just subtly play into Lucas insisting that Goldar was being abusive and not good enough for her because she was 21 and he was 40, whatever. And when he realizes that the flirting's not working and that Goldar, quote unquote, made her go away from the mic, he starts screaming at Sophie. Before the end, and then Goldar's we're going to talk about the voices on the wind, and then that's the whole meltdown to no KFC for you. Depending on how long it takes the dog to pee, I may or may not be back before this is done, but here's the end of it, the honest to God best part of it.
group of us as friends, and they were smoking weed, and then we got back, and I was like, I should have tried that. So I tried that, and I was like, it didn't really get me hot. So my mom and my stepdad went on vacation to Europe because they were travel agents, and so my mom had this hookah from like her grandparents or something. So my buddy Cyril and I loaded this hookah up with weed and smoked out of that. And that was like the first time I got high from it. Like a big, fat, inch-tall bowl.
Lucas?
Yes.
So, in episode 2, at some point, you mentioned that everyone pees himself. Does that mean you've peed yourself often?
No. It's just something I probably said. I've never peed myself.
Never?
Well, as a baby.
But you told everyone that everyone pisses themselves. You said everyone does, so...
At one point in your life, you're going to piss yourself. That is just the way it goes. I probably have.
Probably?
What do you mean, probably? Like, you wouldn't
but
remember?
you have... Oh, but you haven't?
Well, I mean, when I was like 3-year-old.
Right.
Because I was okay, so I rewatch every single episode, and
we have to realize that Lucas says things to be funny sometimes.
Oh, okay.
So it was a joke.
And it was probably a joke.
I have a little question about
You gonna judge
where
me?
you live. So I'd like to know, what years exactly did you live with Jason Pera? Perva.
Like 2014, he crashed on. I let him sleep in my bed with his girlfriend, and I took the couch, and he was nothing but an asshole towards me.
Yeah, you went on your Facebook. You went on your Facebook?
Yeah, I know. Like, he went on my Facebook, said I was a child molester. I was there hooking the dude up. Like, I let him and his girlfriend sleep in my bed, and people are still going to do this to me.
So it's funny you say that he wrote about you being a child molester, because there is some post that says that these posts, in them, you were basically...
That actually was his girlfriend. She came onto the podcast a couple times because Lucas would like instantly calm down and like try to be all suave and flirty, and would actually sort of answer questions because he thought he had a shot at like taking her away from her boyfriend.
Basically admitting being a pedophile, but you are also saying that you don't want to act on it.
No, that was his post.
2 seconds. We're just gonna go see the date.
I'm not a pedophile, fool. 21-year-old girls are hot. 18-year-old girls are hot. I like tits. I want to have children. Why can't you people just let it go? Why are you classist and age-phobic? What are you, just a bunch of little COVID sluts? Why are you haters? Sophie, why are you age-phobic?
I'm not.
Oh, really? You gonna date a Gen X dude ever? Ha.
It just didn't happen. It doesn't mean it wouldn't.
Well, so what you're saying is you're gonna give your kids corrupt DNA because you're in love.
So the post was in December 31st, 2014, and on the post it said, "If there is a God, why did he make me a 35-year-old pedophile that's never committed the aforementioned act? I want the continuance of hookups from hot 18-year-old females. That's it."
I was saying that rhetorically. I was saying if God made me a pedophile, why did he make me a pedophile? If, hypothetically speaking, I was a pedophile, why would God do that? Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, the move on screaming was a great part as well. Just screaming move on until other people... But that's his tactic. Like, when he gets pushed into a corner, he just starts screaming until someone changes the subject.
You're the one who wrote that. It wasn't Jason?
In the exact same post, I said I would rather date 18-year-old women. Why would somebody be a pedophile? And I was using that to...
Yeah, in the podcast, he said it rhetorically. If you ask him any other time, he'll say that his roommate posted it. Basically, his story after this was that his roommate posted it because his roommate was an asshole. But it's like, dude, then why didn't you delete it? I'm going to guess probably based on the time those were posted that it was probably attempts at edgy humor. Well, if I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, which I'm not, he's actually a pedophile. But it would be more believable if he would just claim, yeah, I was trying for edgy humor and just sort of failed.
Trying to justify atheism. It had nothing to do with that. I was like, why
Yep, he said years to delete it. Yeah, Jason Perva, the guy he totally didn't suck off.
would God make somebody a criminal like that? Do you get it now? Why would somebody do that? Personally, I'm not that way. But what I'm saying is, why would God do that? Doesn't that make atheism seem more viable? Like, why would God make somebody a homicidal maniac or a murderer or a bigot? How exactly does that prove the existence of God when so many people that believe in him?
He legit thought he had a chance, and they were trying to sort of goad him that way gently by letting her host parts of the podcast, letting him think that he had like a chance to steal her away by convincing her through like science and shit, and he believed it because he's a fucking idiot.
Are basically just bigots.
Okay, so before we move on,
are you gonna be age phobic? Are you gonna age Gen X, dude?
the episode is
Obviously, he did. Lucas isn't big enough to top anyone.
about to
you're not
end.
thinking.
Lucas, the episode is about to end.
Oh, you're gonna be age phobic?
Okay, so
You gonna yell at me?
there is
This is
one
what we're
last
doing now?
topic.
This is what we're doing now. You're gonna yell at me and snap at me.
Lucas,
because
I'm
you
not
want to
snapping.
make
You're the
it-
one snapping at us all the time.
Oh, but you have a girlfriend, so you
So?
have more than me, and you should just have everything, right?
Okay, let's move on.
Why?
The last
Let's be
topic.
bigots. Let's all be age phobic.
Do you want the
classes,
KFC
right?
or not?
Why doesn't your generation ever love? Why do you
I
always
don't
try
love.
to...
I bought you so many KFC.
Oh, it's all about the chicken. Meanwhile, you're getting laid. How do you love me? How do you love me, Gen Z? How? By giving me chicken while you hit the pussy? Who the fuck are you, bigot?
Okay, so you don't want the
Love
KFC.
I
this.
should just have chicken while you get laid. Who the fuck are you, bigot? Why are you like this? You telomeres are a trait. Oh, I should just eat chicken but not have a girlfriend. Why doesn't Gen Z ever hook me up? Why are you age phobes, you little bigots?
So no KFC?
Dude,
Okay, are we moving on to the last subject or no KFC?
why age phobes? Why won't you date a Gen X dude
No,
even
that's
after
not the
this
subject.
information?
That's my podcast.
Oh, it's not? Oh, it's not, you little bigots?
Okay, so the
Why
voices
you-
on the
why you
wind.
a bigot?
I want to know about the voices on the wind.
What the hell are you talking about?
The voices on the wind. On episode 1, you said you wouldn't listen to the voices on the wind no more than you have to. And I dig up some old posts of yours where you say that I'm not
Oh, the
crazy.
background.
The voices and yes, the background sounds, the bigot background sounds.
There
What is this
are
about?
people,
Are you having
there are
voices?
people around a block away talking. That's what I mean. Why don't you get anecdotes, Gen Z? Why don't you understand sarcasm, Gen Z? You telomeres are trait. You're just going to continue this age phobia and corrupt the DNA of your future children. Great. I'll take chicken, you take pussy, and you get laid all the time and give your kids corrupt DNA. That's what you want. That's what you're telling me. You're going to just give in to that.
You get the KFC.
I should have chicken while you get pussy. That's what you're saying, right,
Well, you
bigot?
accepted it all the other times. What changed?
Why are you a bigot?
I'm
Why
not
are
a
you
bigot.
so afraid? Sophie, why are you so afraid?
She's not there anymore.
Why are you bigots? Why are you age folks? Why won't you ever let us love?
You're greedy.
I'm greedy.
You
I
beg for
should have
KFC
chicken.
nonstop.
I
You
should have
lied
chicken
to
while
me.
you get
You
pussy.
lied to me.
Who the
You
fuck
said
are you,
that the
greedy?
pizza I got you was
You're
for
greedy.
episode 6.
You're the asshole.
But it was
Why
for
you gotta
7.
gaslight me? Oh, you should get laid and have a girlfriend and have your happy fucking life and your marriage and
I
shit.
get laid
Well,
every day.
you suffer your age phobia. Why are you? Oh, but racism sucks. Why are you going to give your kids corrupt DNA?
Tell me about the voices on the wind. Or no KFC.
Why are you concerned about that, gaslighter? Why
There's no
don't
gaslighting.
you
I want
love?
to know about the voices
What
on the
love
web.
do you have, Gen Z? You little age folks. Why not give your kids stronger DNA?
Are they telling
by
you to do
giving
something
Gen X?
scary?
Why are you
Are they telling you
greedy?
to kill yourself?
Why?
What are
Why,
they saying?
Taylor? Why? Why are you greedy?
So what are the voices
Why
on
are
the
you
web
a
saying?
bigot?
You need medication,
Why
and that's
are
when
you
I'll
an
get you
age folk?
KFC. I won't get you KFC no sooner.
Fuck you! Fuck you! You get pussy and I'll have the chicken. Fuck you, bigot! This conversation is done, you motherfucking
I think
asshole!
so too.
I'm in with a chick, you greedy motherfuckers! Fuck you, Gen Z! Why are you like this, you age folks? If I was mad, yeah, I'm fine! If you stop, why are you greedy? How are you a classist and leftist at the same time? Why are you anti-racism but age phobic?
I'm not
Why
anti-racism.
won't you
I'm
date
Republican.
Gen X?
I would vote for
Why
Troy if I could.
you push? Why do you push Galdor? This
Galdor?
conversation is done until
I think so too.
you
I
hook
think
me
so
up
too.
with a chick, Gen Z.
No
Fuck
KFC
you,
for you.
brother.
No
Fuck
KFC
you.
for you.
That was honestly the best ending to a podcast series. Yeah, oh, yeah, he got so mad when you posted that video, just the greed of Lucas Werner. Oh, he lost his shit over that, which was kind of amazing because he's, like, super greedy. But yeah, if you haven't seen Walter's video, The Greed of Lucas Werner, that one really pissed Lucas off, like, pissed him off for weeks. He's probably still mad about it, actually. If someone reminded him of it, he'd probably go leave another comment or something. But yeah, Lucas does. If you really want to get under Lucas's skin, call him greedy. He gets super mad about that. You know, because he'll bring up his 9 pounds of popcorn and his pepperoni sticks and cold Taco Bell that he'd leave for random homeless people. Yeah, the popcorn's not greedy, and he cooked for other people at the homeless shelter. Yeah, and the weird thing is with like some of Walter's videos, when you look at when Lucas posted like specific videos where he was talking about Walter, like where he's got Walter's name in the title and everything, when you look at the date difference, like sometimes he's posting these like quote unquote call out videos, sometimes like months or years after the original video was posted. And it's like, how did it take you that long to find it, or did it take you that long to come up with something? Hi, cats. Is it? Oh, it's past feeding time. That's why you're out climbing on me. So, yeah, that's probably a decent way to end this one. I've got like 4 cats climbing on me because it's a half hour past the time they usually get fed, and they're not super pleased with me for that. But yeah, if you haven't like listened to the whole final golden USB thing, definitely go. Yeah, when he yells Walter's name. Now, to be fair, he hasn't written Walter a song, and he's written me a song, so I don't know. But when it comes to people he's like talked about more between the two of us, Walter definitely has the bigger room in the rent-free head. Like Lucas is like weirdly obsessed with. I think he wasn't obsessed with like fighting you for a while too. Like he was telling you to like come to Spokane and like meet up to like fight him. I'm pretty sure that was like a thing he was trying to do for a while, which is so insanely stupid. Yeah, he tries so hard to get your attention. It's just honestly funny. I don't know what he thinks he's gonna accomplish with it, because like he doesn't want to do a stream with you. He doesn't really want to meet you. Obviously, he would just pussy out. But I think it's because you have more subscribers than him. And Lucas, when it comes to like social media, he's one of those people that thinks like numbers means everything. Like occasionally when he really gets pissed at me, he'll be like, oh, look at you and your whatever 100 subscribers. Hey, what are we barking at? Let's not do that. But yeah, no, Lucas is like obsessed with numbers. Whenever he gets posted to like a big subreddit and gets like 1,000+ views on a video, he loses his goddamn mind and he thinks that he's like super popular, and then he'll like try to recreate that, but he doesn't realize that he's like getting posted to like our cringe, not because people are laughing with him. But he legitimately thinks like when you talk to him, I wouldn't recommend it because he's horrible to actually talk to. but he legitimately, sincerely believes that all of the 3,000 plus people who are his friends on Facebook are actually his friends. So it would not surprise me if he thought like every single one of the people who subscribe to his 2 YouTube channels are his friends. But yeah, there was some guy that left a comment on one of my videos today that said he like contacted you to try to like do a group debate with Lucas. I'm like, who the fuck wants to do that? Lucas, we've seen him on podcasts. He doesn't debate. He just like tries to shout over people. He's impossible to talk to. And he wouldn't do it for free, and I sure as hell don't want to be a part of something that Lucas gets paid to do, because he doesn't deserve to get paid to do it. Yeah, the most popular vlog in Spokane. Yeah, what the hell video was that left on? Because I'm like super not interested in that either. Came up and suggested. Oh, these are old notifications. What the fuck? Oh, here it is. Yeah. This comment here. This crying video again. But yeah, like, what the hell is this? Like, nobody wants to do this. Like, Lucas won't do this shit for free, and we've all seen him on podcasts. That's probably really hard to see on the screen. But yeah, I mean, if Lucas wanted to talk to me, I'd probably just laugh at him for a while, but he clearly doesn't want to talk to me, and he obviously doesn't want to talk to you either. He never would. Like, even if you did invite him, he'd pussy out, because you wouldn't let him just ramble. But yeah, this comment from this guy was like, said that he contacted you about doing it and just wanted to know if I'd be interested. And I'm like, absolutely not, because Lucas isn't going to do that shit for free, and I don't want to be part of Lucas getting paid for anything. Gross. Oh yeah, Lucas is great about that. He's made up so much like weird stuff about you that, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna be fair. You didn't get the toilet fetish one that I got. That I got the worst end of that one. But yeah, he makes up just like a lot of. He mentions them in DMs to me too, because I play dumb in a couple of the DMs, and I'm like, oh, I don't know who Walter is. He'll send me links, and I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. He does sound kind of weird. And like yeah, I've seen this. I saw this video like 2 years ago, Lucas, whatever. But yeah, he just like makes up stuff about people and then repeats it until he thinks other people believe it or until it gets like refuted. Yeah, you're racist. You haven't dated a black girl. You've never dated anyone. You weren't in the military. You're an alcoholic. What the hell else are the ones I can remember? Oh, there's a few other ones. I think my favorite one was when he just said that your voice sounded like you were gargling Cheese Whiz. Like, that's really specific. Like, he knows what his own voice sounds like if you do that. Well, clearly then you're just all racist because there's mostly white people there, I guess, is how Lucas's mind works. Yeah, he makes up a lot of weird shit about people. I mean, nobody believes any of the shit that he says, but Lucas believes it, like, wholeheartedly. Yeah, Lucas is the one who drinks straight out of a bottle of cheap brandy and brags about how much of it he drank in one night, but you're the alcoholic. Yes, I know that Kitty is right there and she's out of your reach and she doesn't want to wrestle with you. Are you tired? It's kind of past your bedtime, buddy. Yeah, it is. You're just probably getting tired. I just said it was past my dog's bedtime because it actually kind of is. But yeah, he makes up a lot of shit. And a lot of it's like projecting too. Oh yeah, that's right. He took that one bottle of brandy out to like McDonald's and a couple other places, and it was just like getting progressively emptier throughout the night. You're gonna bark again, aren't you? Don't do that. I kind of got on him for like barking at what I thought was the wall, until I actually went out earlier today and saw that I live in the middle of a college campus, so the houses around me are just like full of multiple people, and the house next door pretty much has parties every night, like wildly drunk parties. Somebody left half a cheese burrito on the windowsill to my bathroom. The window to the bathroom like faces the driveway, and there was just like half a burrito there, and he was probably barking at what he heard was somebody out in the driveway. And it was just one of the guys next door because there's no fence between my driveway and their yard, and they just kind of will cut through my driveway to get out to the street because I shovel. Oh yeah, the brandy was from when he still had the apartment, so that was a couple years ago. But yeah, it was bottom shelf, like Christian Brothers brandy, and he just like progressively drank the whole bottle throughout the night. Yeah, the dog was barking at what I thought was the wall, because the walls in here are stone, and I can't hear shit going on outside. Like, those people, I will walk out the back door, and they will be having just a complete rager, which is probably a dated term on myself, but, like, fucking loud parties. And occasionally it's like someone will pop over the fence and ask me if I want to come over for a drink, but usually it's like 1 a.m. and I'm letting the dog out to piss, and I really don't want to go over for a drink, because I have to work in the morning. But yeah, apparently when the dog was barking at the wall, one of the partying fellas next door just like was cutting through my driveway and left a half-eaten burrito on my bathroom windowsill. But sure, I mean, that was totally unnecessary, and it's in the trash now, but that was really weird. But yeah, it's probably not the weirdest. Yeah, rager was, we used that term in the goddamn 90s to describe just like a really loud party. But yeah, I don't know how the hell they fit as many people as they do in that house, because it's fucking cold out and they're not outside for the most part. But I think last weekend there had to have been, like, based on the cars and what I could see in the windows that had the curtains open, there had to have been at least like 70 people in that house. And the house next door is not tiny. It's this neighborhood is mostly older, smaller, working class Victorian houses. Catalino's on the wrong coast. It was probably from the gas station that's like a 2-minute walk from my house. Because most of well, I guess there's a couple of restaurants in the bar strip that are open that late, but it's probably was just from the gas station. But yeah, I don't know how the hell they fit that many people in that house, but they have like fucking wild parties, and I've met my neighbors through those parties, but they've all been like so drunk that I'm pretty sure they don't remember meeting me, which is fine, because all these houses around me are 6-month leases, so I'm not going to see them again after summer, most likely. Yeah, he did misuse the term. It's another big boy word he doesn't use. Okay, the cats are really starting to get mad at me and like claw at my legs, so I probably have to go feed them. Yeah, DoorDash yourself a Slurpee, because you're not supposed to. So I think he's getting casts on both of his feet. I'm not sure if you were here like early on when we were looking at that one Instagram post, but he's saying casts on my feet again, which sounds like the one that was out of a cast is going back into a cast, and that makes me happy. I like that idea. Yes, I will. I swear I will get up. Oh god, I have to make you guys food tonight. Oh no. Okay, I'm not going to feed you in a couple seconds because I actually have to get the blender out and throw all the chicken and bones in there to blend that up for you. Uh-oh. Yeah, I should probably go because I actually have to make cat food, and then I still have to, like, fucking clean because it's garbage night. So yeah, I got to clean up a weekend's worth of shredded cardboard and paper, make some cat food, and then probably try to get to bed before 1 in the morning. Yeah, he's definitely going to lose his feet at some point. I could sit here and, like, laugh at Lucas losing his feet all night, but yeah, I gotta go deal with my animals and clean my house. So this has gone on long enough anyway. So yeah, if you haven't watched the Golden USB one, actually, just when you have time, listen to that whole podcast, because that was an amazing thing to listen to. He freaks out the whole time. So yeah, have a good one.